Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see in the picture today, let's start the story of what if Naruto got harem with Kamiyami and Shinigami Part 1. Hope you'll enjoy this video. So before we start, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. So let's get into the video. Naruto Uzumaki, a boy no older than 11 years old, was in his second year of the Konoha Shinobi Academy. He was currently being chased by a mob of civilians and a few shinobi. He ran into an alleyway and quickly hid under a pile of trash. When the mob had passed, he came out and quickly did something that most everybody thought he couldn't. He changed into a very plain-looking man and walked out of the alleyway. He carried on towards his apartment, and when he got there, he dropped his henge and went to bed. Now, while most people knew him as the stupid kid in the back of the class who couldn't perform the most simple of henges, no one knew him as he actually was. Naruto Uzumaki is incredibly clever. He could be shown something once and be able to do it repeatedly, and never forget it. This is, in part, due to his photographic memory. How else would he be able to create his more sophisticated pranks, like his paint bombs in the Hyuga manner, which he set to go off at exactly 11:30 on Saturday morning when almost all of the main family did their laundry? The only reason he doesn't show it in his academics is because the academy is a joke. Civilians who only wanted to act cool and learn cool could pass with flying colors as long as they read their textbooks and knew who the previous Hokage were. Honestly, how long did the teachers think these little kids were gonna last in the outside world? Anyway, he could do a lot more than what most people thought. He had incredible chakra control, which was saying a lot for his massive chakra reserves. He had pinpoint accuracy with any weapon, kunai, shuriken, bow, arrow, javelin, anything. With his photographic memory and his dead-eye accuracy, it's no wonder he was exceptional at fuinjutsu or sealing techniques. His favorite, by far, would be ninjutsu. He could do the 3 academy, shadow clone jutsu, a number of elemental including the Rikiri, although he had perfected it into his own assassination technique, better than the one he had seen a gray-haired jonin perform. For one, he was quiet and didn't require hand seals to perform. He could also perform the Rasengan and mix any of his 3 elemental affinities into it: fire, lightning, and wind, again, from the gray-haired jonin. He really should thank that guy someday. He trained himself into the ground every chance he could in every aspect of being a shinobi. He was a master at fuinjutsu, ninjutsu, kenjutsu, taijutsu with his own style, which was derived from the Hyuga's gentle fist, and the Uchiha's interceptor style. He was exceptional at genjutsu and stealth, as well as jutsu creation. Back to the present, Naruto was getting into bed and almost immediately fell asleep. In the seal, Naruto opened his eyes to see the roof of his apartment. He was about to try and go back to sleep when he noticed something weird. Going towards the window, he opened the blinds to see a black moon with a white sky looming over the village of Konoha. Just then he heard a roar of epic proportions. He started to run towards where he heard the roar to find a giant fox behind an equally massive cage. So, my jailer has finally chosen to show himself to me. To what do I owe the pleasure? The massive fox said. Kyubi, why am I here? Naruto questioned. Well, aren't you quick? You're here because I wanted some entertainment. I've been locked up here for 11 years, and now I'm sick of it. I will grant you 5 wishes at the cost of my tails in order for you to create a link between me and your senses. This will allow you to create devastation in your world and allow me to see it, Kyubi explained. What's the catch? Naruto asked skeptically. It'll be a painful process, and you will gain a massive influx of chakra, throwing your chakra control to shit. Are there any limitations? I'm the king of demons. You really think I would follow any limitations even if there were any? Kyubi laughed. I accept. How do we do this? Simple, you tell me your wishes, I sacrifice my tails, we wreak havoc. Okay, first wish. I wish to have the ability to control time to my whim. That means pause, play, fast forward, rewind, and even send stuff into the future and past. Naruto said with a couple minutes of thought. Very well. After a couple of seconds of silence, a bright silver light erupted from Kyubi's body and encompassed Naruto. A minute or two later, Naruto appeared from the light with a couple streaks of silver in his hair. I didn't feel any pain. Naruto stated questionably. I'm blocking it until we're done and you're asleep, so most of it will be lost because you're already unconscious. Well, wish number 2. I wish I had a dojutsu that combines or even trumps the power of the Sharingan, Byakugan, and even the Rinnegan that I read the Sage of Six Paths had. It should be able to let me see all kinds of chakra, copy any bloodlines, and let me have the ultimate genjutsu that is unbreakable. Smart, this should cause great entertainment. Within an instant, another light, this time red, came from the King of the Demons and covered Naruto's eyes in the light. After a couple of seconds of blindness for Naruto, the light faded and showed Naruto's new eyes. His new Dojutsu had the appearance of 3 concentric rings with 9 tomo in total laying on the rings. It also had a blue background with a white snowflake-like shape under the pupil. Rin Sharingan with Tensigen background. Your new Dojutsu has the abilities of the Eternal Manjikyu Sharingan, which is the Susanoo, Amaterasu, and Tsukuyami, along with the capabilities of the Rinnegan, which grants you all 5 elemental affinities, along with the ability to manipulate gravity without the need of hand signs, along with the 6 paths of pain, Deva equals gravity, Azura equals manipulate, and mechanize your body. Human equals rep the minds of people and can rip the soul out of anybody. Animal equals summon any animal, Preta equals absorb any kind of chakra through your hands, and Naraka equals summon the king of hell to interrogate or restore any living being. You also get the abilities of the Tensigen, an upgraded version of the Byakugan. This allows you to gain the Tensigen chakra mode, greater gravity control, better speed, power, strength, durability, and reflexes, as well as truth-seeking balls. As well as all of the powers you asked for, Kyuubi explained. Well done. Thank you? Naruto said in awe. Yay, next wish. Okay, I wish I could change my appearance at will. That means I can change my molecular structure to make me look like anyone or anything I want, and even create new parts at will. Done. Kyuubi said after a brown light engulfed Naruto. Okay, I wish I could reanimate dead people to fight with me as if they were in their prime with no negative side effects on my part, and without the need for a sacrifice. But give me a way to control them if they get out of hand. Cool, that'll cause some chaos. Just then a black light engulfed Naruto before the symbol for death appeared on his right hand before disappearing. I wish I could gain the abilities of some of the manga that I've read, such as Bleach, One Piece, Tokyo Ghoul, and Dead Man Wonderland. Can do. A rainbow-colored stream of light entered Naruto's chest before he blacked out. He actually lasted longer than I thought. I figured it would take more than one session. And with that, Naruto went through his most painful sleep of his life, but it would be one that he would never regret. Naruto woke up to the blinding light of the sun coming through his crappy blinds. What's going on? Naruto asked groggily. You've finally awoken. You've missed 2 days of the academy. Kyuubi, so it wasn't a dream. I doubt anyone missed me anyway. Naruto concurred. Yay. So what is your first plan of action with your new power? Kyuubi asked. Well, first of all, just then Naruto snapped his fingers and everything stopped. Birds stopped chirping, wind stopped blowing, and people stopped moving. All except Naruto, that is. There, now, how do I reanimate dead people, and is there a limit on who I can resurrect? Naruto asked, acting as if stopping time itself was just another everyday thing. No, you don't have any limitations. You activate it by thinking of the people you want to bring back and throw your hands on the ground as if doing a summoning. Although I would refrain from summoning more than 10 people at a time. Go T. Thank you, Kyuubi. I will do that at the training grounds. Don't mention it. 0 seconds later. Okay, let's do this. Naruto then threw his hands on the ground and a big poof of smoke appeared. Out of the smoke came 7 figures. After a few seconds, the smoke cleared and Naruto, and in turn Kyuubi, recognized the figures as Minato Namikaze, Kushina Uzumaki, Hashirama Senju, Tobirama Senju, Mito Uzumaki, Madara Uchiha, and Hanzo of the Salamander. What is going on? Hashirama asked. This was my plan all along, Hashirama. Now, I will absorb the 10 tails and usher in a new age of peace. Madara yelled while cackling before noticing where he was. Wait, what's going on? Everyone just faces pond. I will be able to answer any questions you have. Everyone turned to see a small blonde-haired boy by the age of 11 or 12. Only Minato and Kushina seemed to know who this boy was. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, and I have summoned you all from the dead because you are all renowned shinobi. I want you all to train me and make me stronger than any other shinobi that has ever lived. Naruto explained. You just expect us to teach you our prize techniques just because you used my reanimation to bring us back? Tobirama asked. First of all, I didn't use any of yours to bring you all back. Secondly, I don't expect you to teach me just because I brought you back. I expect you to teach me because you have no other option, Naruto said coldly. While you little, whatever Madara was going to say was cut off when Naruto showed them his taijutsu. What is that? This is my Sharingan, Tenseigan, and Rinnegan combination. I have all of the powers of the Rinnegan and Sharingan, and upgraded by a Kugan, Naruto explained calmly. That's impossible. How did you acquire such power? Madara demanded. I made a deal with the Kyuubi inside me, which reminds me. With that, Naruto rushed Minato and put his hand on his stomach. The other half of Kyuubi's chakra flowed into Naruto's seal. There you go, Kyuubi. As thank you for all you've done, Naruto said sincerely. Naruto, thank you. And call me Kurama. The newly named Kurama told his jailer. Think nothing of it, Kurama. Naruto, why would you do that? Minato asked. First of all, I did that to complete my friend. Why do you need to know? Having all of the Kyuubi inside one seal can put the seal under too much stress, Mito said. Don't worry, he's not going to try and escape. And even if he did, he would just have to ask, and I'd let him out. Anyway, we've gotten too off track. We have all the time in the world for you to train me. We will work 24/7 in order for me to gain as much power as possible. I guess it would feel pretty good to train someone who can rival a god, Hashirama stated. Yeah, I was going to kill Obito anyway. Might as well ally myself of the winning side, Madara said. After that, everyone agreed. Then it settled. We will train with shadow clones 24/7 with small breaks to regain our chakra. We will train until I think that I'm ready to face the elemental nations, Naruto stated. What would be 10 years later? Naruto could easily say that after 10 years of training non-stop with shadow clones had made him able to fight all of the tail beasts at the same time with only losing 1/8 of his chakra as long as he wasn't using his dojutsu or time manipulation. Over the years he had resurrected a couple other people you might know, such as Shisui Uchiha, Makoto Uchiha, and even the Sage of Six Paths himself, Hagoromo Otsutsuki. The Uchiha trio had trained him in Sharingan and Taijutsu. Shisui trained him in speed while Madara trained him in his eternal Manjiku Sharingan. Minato trained him in time-space jutsu and his Hiraishin. Kushina trained him in Kenjutsu and chakra manipulation like her chakra chains. He found out that they were his parents about an hour after that first meeting. Mito trained him in sealing, seeing how she was a master, even by Uzumaki standards and manners. Hashirama taught him how to control his would-release bloodline and taught him how to mix more elements. Tobirama taught him advanced chakra control exercises, advanced water manipulation, and how to control his emotions. Hanzo of the Salamander taught him all about poisons and how to apply them in combat, as well as being immune to them all. He also taught him how to wield a scythe. Hagoromo taught him how to control his Rinnegan as well as give Naruto both of his marks. The marks Naruto and Sasuke have on their hands which represent both sides of the sage's power. He also told him a bit about his Tenseigan, but was unable to teach him much because that was after his time. After he decided he was ready, he gave everyone a choice. They could stay with him and help him take over the nations, or they could go back to the afterlife and spend the rest of eternity however they wanted. Minato was unable to stay, as he promised the Shinigami that he would go back when he was done training his son, and Namikaze never goes back on his word. Hashirama, Tobirama, Mito, Hanzo, and the sage wanted to pass on, as they thought that the world was in good hands. Kushina, Makoto, Madara, and Shisui decided to stay, as they had unfinished business in the world of the living. That was the point where Naruto felt the need to let time play again. But not before letting the villagers know that he was not to be fucked with anymore. Time start. The villagers were just walking around the village going about their own business when all of a sudden every single shop that had ever wronged Naruto in any way was completely ransacked. Buildings destroyed, produce stolen, and graffiti on the walls that were still standing, but one section of graffiti caught every single villager's eye. Some, the ones who were relatively nice to our blonde-haired hero, could only smile and wonder how much more interesting life was gonna be from now on, because someone wrote 2 words on the Hokage monument in bright red paint. 2 words that sent the villagers who openly abused Naruto into a shivering fit. Those 2 words were simply, payback time. Yuruka Yamano, who spent his career teaching academy students at the Konoha Shinobi Academy, was getting incredibly annoyed. His students were talking non-stop. These were supposed to be the next generation of killers, and they couldn't even quiet down when the teacher came into the room. He was just about to scream at the top of his lungs when the door opened, and in came a boy with dirty blonde hair with red and black streaks in it. He wore a dark red button-up shirt with the sleeves rolled up, a black vest, black dress pants, black combat shoes, a black tie, and a black fedora with a gray line on the top of the rim that blocked the boy's eyes. "Excuse me for being late. I had better things to do with my morning than getting up early and coming here to learn nothing of use," the boy said. "I'm sorry, I didn't know we were getting a new student today," Irika said curiously. "I'm not new." At that moment, the boy lifted his fedora a little to show his striking blue eyes with flecks of silver. "Naruto," Irika exclaimed loudly, in the flesh. "Now, let's get this show on the road," Naruto said with a smirk. "Naruto baka. Stop trying to show up, Sasuke-kun." She was suddenly cut off when she found duct tape over her mouth and Naruto in his seat at the back of the class next to the window. "What did you do, Naruto?" Irika questioned. "I did what someone should have done a long time ago, myself included. Now on to class, okay? Now back to the lesson. Who here can tell me what a Kekkai Genkai is?" Sasuke was the first to raise his hand. The Kekkai Genkai is a bloodline limit that grants a person and their clan and offspring a special ability, such as my clan Sharingan. He finished cockily. "Yep, a clan of copycats that don't do any work on their own. Save for a few, like Shizai, Mikoto, Madara, and your brother, Itachi. The others were just arrogant copycats," Naruto stated matter-of-factly. "How dare you, you clanless loser! You have no right to degrade my clan of elites when you're just a dope who didn't even know his horror of a mother and bastard of a father." Sasuke yelled angrily and cockily. "Actually, I can tell you exactly who my mother and father were. And let me tell you this, you will most likely feel very stupid," Naruto said with a smirk. "Oh yay? Well, who were they?" Sasuke stated arrogantly, thinking his parents were nobodies. "Well, my father was Minato Namikaze, 4th Hokage, and Yellow Flash of the Leaf. My mother, on the other hand, just then saw a red-eyed woman appear next to Naruto. Is Kushina Uzumaki, Kuno has Red Death, and a Kenjutsu Master of the Leaf, one who could take on all of the 7 swordsmen of the mist at the same time," Naruto says with a smirk. His eyes have not been opened the entire time. "Hello," as he said, "I am Kushina Uzumaki, Naruto's mother," Kushina said with a smirk identical to Naruto's. "Okay, you can leave now. Sarutobi's probably gonna want a meeting now," Naruto said. "Gotcha, see you at home," Kushina said with a smile before she disappeared. "Now I'm gonna leave because I already know all of this. Fuck you all, except Irika, and goodbye." And then he just wasn't there anymore. No or anything, just gone. "Okay then. You guys can go to lunch now," Irika said, still in shock at the fact that his surrogate aunt was his surrogate little brother's mom, with Naruto. Naruto was just walking around after letting time flow again. Just then, 4 Umbu appeared around him. "Naruto Uzumaki, you are required to appear before the." Then he realized that the boy was no longer there. "Hokage, okay, I'll go see the old monkey," Naruto said before stopping time again and going to the Hokage's office. He started time again and saw Sarutobi's reaction to him just appearing in his office. "Naruto, how did you get here?" Sarutobi questioned just before his Umbu appeared in the office. "What took you so long?" Naruto questioned with a smirk. "Quiet brat. Respect your superiors. The Inu Mastambu said. I will if I ever meet any dog breath. Naruto said with his ever-present smirk on his face. Why you? Quiet. Sarutobi demanded. Now, Naruto-kun, explain yourself. He said seriously. All you need to know is that I'm stronger than ever, and that I won't be taking any more shots from anyone. And don't ever call me Naruto-kun again, you lost that right when you decided to let me get beaten by the villagers. Naruto said coldly. Now you have to understand I had no choice. Had I helped you or punished the villagers, the council would have had my head for showing favoritism. Sarutobi complained. That just means you are a coward for being scared of your subordinates. You've lost even more of my respect. Now goodbye. I hope you think about what I've said and change. And then, he was gone. Umbu, please give me a moment alone. After all of his Umbu left the room, Sarutobi set up privacy seals around the room. Sarutobi's face contorted into rage. That little demon dares to try and lecture me. I'll have to get him back under control. Otherwise, I'll just have Danzo place a loyalty seal on him and put him en route. Sarutobi schemed evilly. End of Academy. It was the last day of the Academy, and the only people who looked like they had improved in even the slightest amount were Sasuke, Hinata, and Shikamaru. The rest just seemed content being weak. Especially Sakura and the other civilians. Naruto, on the other hand, just seemed to continue to grow in power. In the past years he had revived even more people to help him train, including Indra and Ashura Otsutsuki, Hamura's children. The weird thing was that he could also revive people from manga that he's read to train him in his powers. Those included Ichigo Kurosaki, Janusai Yamamoto, Edward Newgate, Kaido of the Beasts, Kanaki Ken, Taka Kurishima, Ganta Igarashi, and Shiro. The only ones who wanted to stay with him were Shiro and Taka. So he trained, and trained, and trained, but he also continued with his payback. People, and even the Hokage himself, were pranked on a daily basis, from paint bombs to destruction of property, depending on their involvement in his suffering. Anyway, back to the academy. They were just about to start the Genin exam. They were just about to start the written portion. Not much to report about that. Besides, Naruto finished as soon as they said to start. Nobody knew how he did it, even Iruka and the Hokage who was watching him through his crystal ball. Then, they went outside to take the taijutsu portion. Almost all of the civilian-born students failed due to being put against clan heirs. Sasuke seethed when he didn't get to fight Naruto. He was so mad that when it was his fight, he brutally beat his opponent. Sasuke was then deducted points for his brutality. Something that resulted in the screaming of his fangirls. His face was almost as funny as when Iruka gave them a chakra capacity test to see who needed to work on building their chakra up and who needed to work on controlling their chakra. Naruto completely destroyed the machine and a large chunk of the wall when the doctor told him to not hold back. The look on Sasuke's face was priceless. Anyway, Naruto was put against a girl who moved here from Iowa. Her name was Yukatora Hako. She wore a white battle kimono over black shorts, a black tank top, and black combat boots. She moved during their first at the academy. As such, she was never bitter towards him. She even tried to help him on some occasions before he got his powers. So, he decided to take it easy on her. It started with basic academy taijutsu. But after a couple of minutes, nobody had gotten hit, mostly because Naruto was only dodging, and Yukatora was getting frustrated. Why can't I hit you? Yukatora yelled. I will admit you are good. But you get sloppy when you're frustrated. Naruto said sagely. At that, she stopped, took a deep breath and took a unique battle stance. This got Naruto to raise his eyebrow in surprise. Thank you for the advice. Now, prepare yourself. At this, she rushed to Naruto. You can admit when you're wrong, I like that. That's an admirable trait. I'll be lucky if I can get on the same team as someone as level-headed as you. Naruto said sincerely, which caused her to blush a bit. They continued to fight for the remainder of the time limit, Naruto now having to block some punches and kicks. When the bell sounded, signaling the end of the fight, Iruka gave them both perfect scores. Next was the accuracy exam. They were to throw 5 kunai and 5 shuriken at targets from a distance of 20 feet. Again, most civilians failed. All of the clan heirs passed, with Naruto getting a perfect for throwing them at the same time and destroying the targets. After that was the ninjutsu portion. At this, almost everyone passed due to the low chakra exertion required for the academy. Sasuke, being the arrogant asshole he was, decided to show off by doing the fire style Grand Fireball Jutsu after the 3 academy. He walked back to his seat with a cocky smirk on his face, thinking he outperformed Naruto. Next was Naruto's turn. Deciding to show off a little, he did all of the academy without hand seals, then performed a seal-less wind style. Great breakthrough. This got him a perfect score. Next was Zeno Yamanaka. Wanting to impress Sasuke-kun, she did a clan's mind transfer technique on Naruto to try and embarrass him. Instead, she just started screaming and fell to the ground. Next time you try something like that, the next thing you see will scar you for life, Naruto said with his eyes still closed, as if he wasn't fazed in the least by Yamanaka's attempt. After that little fiasco, the exams were over, and Iruka gave them all a lecture and told them to come back in 2 days for team assignments. Afterwards, all of the kids went home to celebrate with their families. Now I can put forth the first phase of my plan, Naruto thought. It's about time, I've been getting bored, Kurama said with an evil smirk. Okay, we will now start with the team placements. Team 1, no one cares. Team 7 is Sasuke Uchiha, Naruto Uzumaki, and Yukatora Hako. Your Jonin sensei will be Kakashi Haddock. At this, Naruto and Yukatora shared a smile, while Sasuke scowled at being on a team with Naruto. Team 8 is Hinata Hyuga, Kiba Inuzuka, and Shino Aburame. Your Jonin sensei is Kuro Nuki. Team 9 is still active, so Team 10 is Shikamaru Nara, Chuji Akamichi, and Ino Yamanaka. Your sensei is Asumasura Tobi. Thank you all for allowing me to teach you, and I hope you all have a very plentiful career in the shinobi arts. Please wait here for your Jonin sensei. With that, Iruka bowed and walked out of the classroom. A few minutes passed before the first couple of senseis appeared to take their genin teams. After a while, only Team 7 was left to wait for Kakashi. -1 hour later. That's it, I'm leaving. Wanna come with me, Yuki-chan? Naruto asked when he got to the door. Sure, no reason to stay here and do nothing. Their only female teammate agreed. Sasuke, if you stay, tell him we are training ground 7. With that, Naruto grabbed Yuki's waist and used a shunshin to leave with her in tow, leaving Sasuke with a scowl on his face as he waited for their sensei. You know where they went. Okay, now I am going to train if you want to join me, Naruto offered. Sure, what training did you have in mind? Yuki asked. Well, you wouldn't be able to do my training, but I could give you a few exercises to practice, Naruto explained. Sure, that would be great. What did you have in mind? Yuki inquired. Here, this scroll has a few chakra control exercises. Now, what are your elemental affinities? Naruto asked as he handed her a scroll. I have no idea, I've never gotten tested, Yuki said as she skimmed over the scroll for now. While here, this paper will show your affinities. Just push your chakra into it, Naruto explained as he pulled out a paper. Naruto watched as she pushed her chakra through the paper and how it split into 3 separate pieces. The pieces burned to ash, split into tiny pieces and crumbled into a small bowl respectively. Well, that surprised him. What really surprised him was that the 3 pieces rejoined to create a ball of pure plasma. I see. You've got 3 elemental affinities that join together to form plasma release Cake Toda. That makes sense, as the plasma release is a known bloodline in Iowa. I promise, we will grab some scrolls on the plasma release if we ever travel near Iowa, Naruto promised. Thank you, that really means a lot to me, Yuki said, tearing up a little. No problem. Now, here are some scrolls containing a couple for each of your affinities, as well as exercises to practice with your elemental manipulation, Naruto said. Alright, I'll get right on it, Yuki said with determination. -1 hour 30 minutes later, Academy. Yo, wait, where are your teammates? That was the sound of hypocritical Cyclops walking into the classroom where the genin hopefuls had just graduated. The scene he walked in on was not one he was expecting, but one he would never forget. Sasuke was snoring loudly while leaning back in his chair. The sound of the door opening and his sensei's voice was enough to rouse Sasuke from his slumber as he fell back in his chair. Quickly getting back up, Sasuke looked around the room to see Kakashi standing at the door, chuckling at what he was seeing. "You will tell no one of what you just saw?" Sasuke demanded, trying to look intimidating. "Sure. Now, where's your new teammates?" Kakashi asked lazily. "It got tired of waiting for you, so they went to train at Training Ground 7. Sasuke said with a huff. "Cool, that's where we were going anyway." Kakashi then grabbed his shoulder and used a shunshin to get there quickly. Training Ground 7. What the two squad mates saw next would have them questioning their sanity. All around the field were hundreds of Narutos training with various abilities they were not able to recognize. Although, not even a second after they appeared, all of the clones dispelled, sending what they've learned back to the original. It's about time. Geez, what kind of shinobi is over 2 hours late to meet his team? They looked up to see Naruto standing on the underside of a branch using chakra to stick to it. "Naruto. You know you weren't supposed to leave the classroom," Kakashi said as Naruto dropped from the branch, and Yuki came over to them looking a little disheveled. "Yes, and you know you were supposed to be there on time. I guess we both have stuff to learn." Naruto spoke with an uninterested look on his face. Kakashi just barely kept the scowl from his face, but Naruto caught it. "Well, let's just hope you two didn't tire yourselves out too much because we have a test to do. You all will have to get these 2 bells from me by 2 p.m. Any who failed to do so will be sent back to the academy. And since there are only 2 bells, one of you will already be sent back. You will have to come at me with the intent to kill. Are you ready?" Kakashi explained. "Hold up," Naruto said before putting his hand on Yuki's shoulder, instantly replenishing her chakra reserves. "Okay, now we're ready." "Okay, now stop." Before he could finish, Naruto stopped time to switch out the bells with shadow clones as bells. After he walked back to his spot, he started time again. RT. With that, the group of 3 split up to hide in the woods. Naruto, seeing no reason to hide, jumped back out just after Kakashi brought out his orange book. "Not going to hide, I see. You think you have what it takes to fight with me?" Kakashi said with a cocky smirk on his face, though no one could see it due to his mask. "Though it won't be a fight. But I would love to have a dance with you, dog breath." Naruto smirked, seeing how his old nickname for Inu back when he was an Umbu caused Kakashi to clench his fists. "You know, people die in the field of shinobi. I would hate to see you die well under my care," Kakashi said with a glint in his eye. "Like you could kill me even if you uncovered your stolen Sharingan. How does it feel to be a thief of a thief?" Naruto asked with a smirk. "That's it, brat, let's fight," Kakashi said with murder in his eye. With that, the 2 opponents charged at each other. They started with simple taijutsu. After a couple of minutes of no one hitting anything, they decided to take it up a notch. To anyone looking in, they would have just seen a bunch of blurs occasionally clashing, exchanging a couple of blows before taking off again. Deciding to end this, Kakashi started to perform hand signs to form a toned-down version of his signature technique, the Rikiri, which he dubbed the Chidori. While he was charging his attack up, he failed to notice Naruto's eyes change quickly before changing back to his normal blue with silver specks. "I see, you're using a variant of your only original, the Rikiri. At least you're getting a bit more serious," Naruto said before forming a ball of wind in his hand before it took the shape of a drill bit around his hand. "You say that it's supposed to be an assassination technique. What a joke. It's way too loud and flashy for it to go unnoticed." "Shut up, brat. Sneaky and stealthy is more for Umbu these days. The strength of a shinobi nowadays lies in the strength of their teammates, and the amount they have at their disposal," Kakashi yelled, losing focus, as his only original was just so blatantly called out. "The first one is truthful, but the second is a complete lie. It doesn't matter how many you have if you haven't mastered any of them, then you're just a sitting duck for someone who has mastered all of them in their arsenal," Naruto explained in a sage-like manner. "Now let's see whose assassination technique is stronger, your Chidori, or my wind drill. Fine, no other except for these. First one to give out losses." Kakashi said cockily, thinking he had the advantage. Gotta go? And with that, both shinobi rushed at each other before thrusting their arms towards each other, one with a cocky smirk on his face, the other with a bored one. As soon as they met, it was clear who was superior. Naruto's wind drill tore straight through Kakashi's shidori, and cut up his arm before puncturing his right shoulder. At your age, you neglectfully failed to recall that in the circle of elements, wind trumped lightning. That was your first mistake. Your second mistake was thinking that just because you're older, that you are automatically superior. Now, another Naruto appeared without smoke and picked Kakashi up. This clone will take you to the hospital. I take it we passed. You thought wrong. The object of the test was to see if you three could work as a team. And you didn't even get the bells. Kakashi said as he held up the bells with his good hand before they went up in smoke. Why? Yeah, about that. I actually did get them. Now, would my two teammates please come into the field? Naruto said, as he threw the two bells at his teammates when they showed themselves. There, and don't forget your orders from the civilian council to pass the Uchiha brat no matter what. Kakashi's eyes widened when Naruto just uncovered his plan with the civilian council. What he thought Naruto didn't know was that Sarutobi took instead of voicing this. Kakashi just smirked. Watch yourself, brat. You might get yourself killed in this field of work. But yeah, you all pass. We will start missions tomorrow. Meet here at 8 a.m. With that, the shadow clone took Kakashi to the hospital. Now, you two heard the man. Try to be here on time, unlike our esteemed sensei. Naruto said sarcastically. Dope. Naruto turned to see Sasuke with a cocky smirk on his face. As you can see, I've got the civilian council on my side. So, I suggest you do whatever I say or else. Now I demand you give me all of your techniques and weapons and help me unlock my Sharingan, then I will think about letting you be my servant, Sasuke demanded, thinking he was about to get a whole lot stronger. No. You're not about to threaten me with something that can't do anything to me. As of today, we're shinobi, therefore, the civilian council can't touch me, Naruto said with a smirk. Sasuke seethed, knowing he was right. Whatever, once I get my Sharingan, I'll make you teach me those techniques. Sasuke finished with a smirk plastered on his face. How about I make you be my servant with my Sharingan? Naruto said as his eyes changed to show his eternal Mangekyou Sharingan. Sasuke immediately saw red. How the hell do you have my clan Sharingan? I'll kill you, you bastard. Sasuke then rushed at Naruto, intent on killing him for his treachery on his clan. What he didn't take into account was that he had just looked into an upgraded Sharingan like a total idiot. He then fell down mid-charge, forced to relive his clan's murder for a couple of minutes, but to him it was hours. After the massacre, he was forced to watch as Naruto fucked his mother over and over again. What he didn't know was that that was actually a memory. Makoto had insisted on thanking him for bringing her back, as well as a bit of her family that didn't deserve to die, as well as allowing Madara to stay alive in order to find love, and try and find out what Hashirama's fixation on this world was. Okay, now that that is out of the way, what do you want to do, Yuki? Naruto asked, as he turned to his other teammate after deactivating his Sharingan. Well, I haven't been around the village much since I was focused on my shinobi training. Maybe you could show me around as well as get a bite to eat? Yuki asked nervously. Sure, that sounds great, Naruto said with a genuine smile. They then spent the rest of the day walking around the village, just laughing and having a great time. Yeah, I don't think I can keep doing this, Naruto said, as he calmly handed in Tor, the fire daimyo's wife's cat, for what seemed like the 100th time. Team 7 had been doing D-rank missions for a little over 2 months now, and it was complete bullshit. These weren't missions, these were menial chores that would be better suited for academy students. Wait, that's a perfect idea, thought Naruto with a smirk. Okay, Team 7, another D-rank, I suppose? You have the choices between painting a fence, getting rid of some rodents that have been raiding a garden, or walking the Inuzuka dogs. Hiruzen listened with a smile. Actually, I had an idea, Hokage-sama. Instead of giving D ranks to already fully fledged ninja, how about you have the academy students do the D ranks, while genin do low C rank to high C rank? This would give academy students the chance to train a little more before becoming ninja. And it would give ninja actual missions to up their teamwork and skills. Naruto explained with a smirk. That's actually not a bad idea, Naruto-kun, Hiruzen said, but with a noticeable grimace for a split second. I'm full of great ideas. Now I think we deserve AC rank, with the acceptance of Kakashi, of course. Naruto said with a glance to Kakashi. He noticed his lack of sensei after his name with an unnoticed scowl. Yeah, whatever, Kakashi said indifferently. Hiruzen had a visual look of annoyance at Kakashi's indifference. Of course, I've got the perfect job. You will be escorting a bridge builder back to Wave Country, then protecting him until he finishes the bridge. Do you accept this mission? Hiruzen asked, as he got done explaining the mission parameters. We do. Team 7, we meet the client in 1 hour, so go home and grab whatever you will need for a mission of 2 to 3 weeks. Dismissed. Kakashi told his team. Kakashi, please stay back a moment, please. With a nod, Kakashi stayed back. Naruto hesitated before turning and walking out of the door with the rest of his team. Kakashi, what the hell are you doing? Hiruzen yelled after setting up a privacy seal around the room. It's not my fault. He somehow knew that I was Inu from my NBU days. When you assigned me to be his sensei in order to better control him, I didn't think it would be so hard. He even knows about our plan to control him with my Sharingan. Kakashi tried to reason with the aged Hokage. Then you'll just have to start influencing him ahead of schedule. You will just have to unlock Sasuke's Sharingan all that much faster so that we can put the next phase of our plan into action. Hiruzen said with a thoughtful look on his face. Kakashi nodded before he bowed and left. Neither noticed the small amount of smoke wafting up from the dark corner of the room, with Naruto. Naruto had just received the memories of his clone that he had hid in Sarutobi's office. Needless to say, he was not happy. That old bastard thinks he can just waltz in and control him. Oh, it would be fun to see his face when he sees just how hopeless that plan is, though that will be priceless, for sure. Now get back to training, Kurama told Naruto, startling him into getting back to doing one-finger push-ups while his legs were straight in the air and 300 pounds on each leg and 500 on his torso. Right. So what exactly should I do? I've run through all of the techniques and exercises everyone left me. Naruto asked his tenants. Well, you could always spar with us. Naruto turned to see all of the people he brought back and decided to stay. From the left to right there was Kushina, Taka, Shiro, Mikoto, Shursui, and Madara. Madara, I didn't know you were back in the village. And how did you get the Rinnegan? Naruto asked curiously while studying the powerful. Yeah, when I was traveling, I remembered that I had transplanted my original eyes into an Uzumaki boy by the name of Nagato. Apparently, he had placed a seal on them, kind of like the Hyuga, but this one completely blocked my ability to use the Rinnegan in this new body, so I just had to track him down and remove the seal. Madara explained. Cool now? I heard you guys wanted to spar. Naruto asked with a smirk on his face. Why not? It will be a good way to determine how far you've grown. Madara said, mirroring Naruto's smirk, as did the rest of them. This'll be fun, Naruto said, and with a snap of his fingers, he felt the all-too-familiar feeling of time stopping. Well, let's get started, shall we? And with that, they were all flight bullets. Half an hour later. Everyone other than Naruto was lying on the ground while panting. Geez, Naruto, I know you were trained to be the strongest shinobi in existence, but I didn't think you would achieve that at the whopping age of 13. Madara said with a smirk. Well, I was trained by the best, and don't forget all of the years and time stop. So I'm mentally older than 13. Also, I've got the most powerful, excluding the Jubi, inside of me. I was practically born for greatness. Now, another snap of the fingers later, time started again. I need to go on my first C-rank mission, so I'll see you guys later. Okay, have fun, Naruto-kun. They all yelled in unison. BA, Naruto yelled back, as he used Shunshin to get to the north gate in record time. He finished his Shunshin to find his team, and one old guy who reeked of sei clucked at him. What? Naruto said while cleaning his ear out with his pinky. You're 10 minutes late, and you have no equipment with you. I'm taking you off of this mission for insubordination. Kakashi said with a smirk. First of all, you're late to everything, and second hand, Naruto said, as he lifted up his arm to show seals all along his arm, I do have my equipment. But what about armor, Naruto-kun? Yuki asked. I don't need it, and even if I was ever in the situation where I would need some, these clothes have seals all over them to make them more durable than even Umbu armor. Fine, you can come. But you're on thin ice, brat. Kakashi said with a huff before turning and jumping into the trees, quickly followed by Sasuke. Did they forget that we have a civilian client? Yuki asked Naruto. Yes, they did. Naruto said with a sigh and a facepalm before walking towards the client. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, nice to meet you. Naruto said with his hand outstretched. The name's Suzuna, you know your mission. Good, hopefully we'll get along better than the Uchiha brat. The newly named Tazuna explained before Naruto nodded. Well, he started before 3 shadow clones appeared. Me, 2 of my clones, and Yuki-chan will form a diamond formation around you, while the other clone will follow us in the trees to keep an overhead watch out. Now, let's get going, Naruto said with a smile, as they made a diamond formation around Tazuna. -1 hour later. After an hour of walking, they came upon a quite hilarious sight. Kakashi and Sasuke were both in a sphere of water above the lake with a man, and what looked like a clone of the man with their hands in the spheres to keep them up and functional. Sasuke also had noticeably red eyes with 3 tomo, 1 in his left and 2 in his right. The man looked to be in his late 20s to early 30s, wearing black pants with blue sandals with ankle warmers attached, as well as a black shirt with blue arm warmers. He also had bandages over his neck and covered the lower half of his face with a blue headband with a slash through the curious symbol, showing that he was a missing nin. He also wielded a large sword attached to his back. I see somebody got into a little bit of trouble when he left his client behind. You know, I'm wondering, how did you get your Jonin status? Did the Hokage just pity you so much that he just gave you the position? Naruto said with a smirk. Oh, shut up, dope. Just get us out of here, Sasuke said somewhat begrudgingly. Oh, I don't know. I'm just a dope. How could I defeat someone the great Sasuke-sama couldn't? I should just give up now, Naruto said, feigning submission. Oh, so now you admit it. Well, better late than never. But you need to get us out of here and we can discuss your servitude later, Sasuke said with a smirk. You really are stupid, aren't you? Naruto said with a smirk of Sasuke's surprised face that Naruto didn't want to serve him. Now, who do we have here? By my deduction, I would say that you're Zabuza Momochi, missing nin of Kirigakure, as well as a former member of the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist. What are you doing attacking my team? I was hired to kill the bridge builder. So why don't you just hand him over so that I don't have to kill a newly minted genin? I don't need that in my conscience. Zabuza tried to reason with the kid. Ba, not gonna happen. See, this guy is kin to my charge, and it wouldn't look very good if my first mission out of the village is ended by my charge getting killed. So, instead, how about you give up and join me? Naruto asked with a raise of his eyebrow. How about a deal? You beat me, I join you. I beat you, and I get to kill the bridge builder. If you put up a good enough fight, I'll let you and your team leave with only a few broken bones. Zabuza proposed with a smirk. Sure, any limitations? Naruto asked. Only Tai, Ken, and ninjutsu. Everything other than that is prohibited, Zabuza said after a second of thinking. That's reasonable. Now, are you ready? Naruto said with a smirk as he got into his battle stance. Of course, don't get cocky, kid, Zabuza said with a smirk as he grabbed his sword from his back and held it in from him. Trust me, I'm not cocky, just confident in my abilities, Naruto said with a smirk as he rushed towards his opponent. We'll see about that, kid. With nothing else left to discuss, the 2 ninja charged at each other with high Jonin level speeds only to come to an abrupt stop in the middle with Zabuza swinging his sword with a horizontal slash. Naruto ducked under the slash before jumping up, and Kangaroo kicked a missing nin in his chest, sending the ex-Kiri nin rolling back before finding his balance and skidding to a stop on his feet. Then, with chakra-augmented speed, Zabuza rushed at Naruto before he could land and sent an upward slash to try and cut his opponent in half. Emphasis on the word try. Naruto, seeing this move from a mile away, pushed a large amount of chakra through his foot so that as soon as it touched the ground, his foot blasted off the ground to spin him like a top in midair, narrowly missing the large sword before kicking Zabuza on the back of his head with such force that Zabuza's face met the ground in a very unpleasant way. Finally touching the ground, Naruto immediately rushed Zabuza and performed an axe kick, forcing him even farther into the ground. This victory was short-lived, as the Zabuza in the crater turned to water. Naruto then turned to see the real Zabuza standing on the lake performing hand seals. You really are impressive, kid. Let's see how you are with ninjutsu. Water style, water dragon jutsu. Zabuza yelled before sending the water dragon towards the blonde kid that was his opponent. Pathetic, Naruto said as he appeared behind Zabuza with a silver flash causing the ex-Kiranin to widen his eyes before being thrown forward towards the forest by what looked like one huge red tentacle with some black at the tip. Then, before anyone could blink, the tentacles seemed to uncurl to reveal 9 smaller tentacles that curled around each other to perform a stronger, drill-like attack. They seemed to all be originating from the bottom of Naruto's back. Just think of Kaniki's Kagen. Zabuza, when he was finally done flying through the trees, stopped when his back met a particularly sturdy tree to where he just sat there in pain. That is, until Naruto walked up to him and nudged him with his foot. Yo, so do you concede or what? Naruto asked nonchalantly. Yeah? Geez, kid, you've got some serious firepower there. What was that last technique you used? Zabuza said, as Naruto started to heal him. It's a bloodline called Kajin. It's unique to every person who has it. Mine is called Rinkaku, while a friend of mine's is called Ikaku. Now, how do you want to go about this? We could have you go back to Gato and pretend to still work with him, or we could just go Rambo and destroy his base in a fiery explosion. Naruto said, a little giddy at the end. I'll act as a spy for now so that way I can find his vault and take all the money that the bastard owns. Wait, how did you know I work for Gato? Zabuza asked after a moment of thought. Fine, I guess you could do that. Just gotta ruin my fun. And I know because I made the old man spill it when the demon brothers Gozu and Meizu attacked us. Naruto agreed, before retelling the not-so-exciting story. I mean really, who hides in a puddle? I can't believe I lost to you. Well, you guys go on your way. I gotta go sell my story to Gato in order for him to trust me to get a little closer to him, so you might not want to heal me up too good. Zabuza said before feeling the feeling of being healed go away. Suit yourself, but you might want to use your friend in the trees to help you look. She can also be used to stop anyone who comes near you while you're still recuperating with the help of her ice bloodline, Naruto said offhandedly while walking away to check on his team. What? How did he sense Haku and even tell her gender and Kekii Genkai? He truly is powerful. Zabuza thought with wide eyes as he left with his left arm around what looked like a Kiri hunter Nin who appeared after Naruto had left. We have much to talk about Zabuza-sama. The hunter Nin look-alike set which only got a sigh and a nod from Zabuza. With Naruto. Naruto returned to the edge of the lake to see Yuki using what little knowledge she had of healing techniques to try and heal Kakashi and Sasuke, though only Sasuke seemed to be awake. Also, his clones were still surrounding Tazuna, who looked to be staring at where he and Zabuza disappeared into the woods with concern. Finally, after having walked halfway towards his team, the Ikihabrad noticed him. Hey Dobe. I demand you give me those techniques you use, as well as that Kekii Genkai. Sasuke demanded with a growl. Even if I wanted to give it to you, it's not called a bloodline limit for nothing. I couldn't just give it to you. And anyway, is that any way to treat the person who saved your life? Naruto suggested with a smirk. Shut up. I would have won that fight had you not gotten in the way. I was about to use my Sharingan to put him into A, and have him let us go. Sasuke smirked at his well-thought-out plan. Okay, first of all, do you even know any strong enough to hold a Jonin? And before you say that your Sharingan would have made it more powerful, the Sharingan, while it does make it stronger, only adds to it based on the user's skill. If you're a Jonin who specializes in, the Sharingan would be very beneficial to you because it would make casting that you already know easier. Though, if you are a spoiled genin who only just graduated and even more recently just unlocked his Sharingan, It would be like trying to open a can with a stick. The intent there, but you don't have the tools necessary to perform the task. Naruto explained sagely. Oh, shut up. Stop acting like you know everything, like you would know more than I do about my own clans, Kekii Jinkai. If you think for a second that you're better than me just because you have the same eyes as Itachi, Sasuke said the name with distaste, then you've got something seriously wrong with your head. I am better than you just because my Sharingan is natural, and from my family. You probably just stole those eyes from some dead person after the Uchiha massacre, Sasuke painted, having finally let loose after so many years of keeping his emotions in check, sort of. Naruto leaned his head forward so that his hair shadowed his eyes before speaking in an ominous tone. If you ever implied that I would do something as heinous and vile as to desecrate a dead body again, I will rip out those eyes you're so proud of and feed them to the Inuzuka dogs. Now go to sleep. Naruto finished with a chop to the back of Sasuke's neck, effectively knocking him out. Are you okay, Naruto-kun? Yuki asked cautiously. Yeah, I'm fine. Let's just get Tazuna sent home before we run into any more trouble, Naruto said with a happy tone, as if he wasn't affected by Sasuke's words at all, and in fact he wasn't. As if a brat like Sasuke could get him riled up. He just wanted to scare the little bastard. Okay, Tazuna, lead the way, Yuki said with a smile, as Naruto's clones grabbed his other two teammates. Right. This way. Tazuna stuttered out. Never in his life has he seen someone move so fast. And on they went, on their way to the Master Bridge Builder's house, in an effort to free his country from the evil clutches of a power-hungry man. With all of this, and more surprises along the way, do you think our favorite blonde-haired bastard is scared? Hell no. This is boring. Naruto complained as he was being forced to be present to Kakashi tell his team about the tree walking exercise. This is a very important exercise. It can be used to better control your chakra. That way you won't expand as much chakra when performing, Kakashi explained as if he was talking to a child. Yeah, I know. I already know this exercise, as well as water walking, waterfall cutting, chakra constructs, and chakra augmentation, as well as many more. Naruto retorted, rolling his eyes. That's impossible. Some of those techniques were lost long ago. The only details we have of them are in the names of them, not the directions or even who came up with them, Kakashi said, thinking Naruto was just exaggerating. Naruto's only response was to create a chakra blade from the bottom of his forearm. Kakashi looked on with wide eyes as he watched Naruto disperse the chakra construct. Well, this exercise is done by concentrating chakra to your feet to stick yourself to the vertical surface, Kakashi explained, facing his other two students. Raising her hand, Kakashi-sensei, I already know the tree climbing exercise too, Yukitora said. Oh, well, how about the water walking exercise? He asked, to which she shook her head no. Okay, well, I will get you started with that after I get Sasuke started with the tree climbing exercise. She nodded and saw that Sasuke scowled at the fact that he was the furthest behind in his team. Okay, well, I'm going to go and train myself. See you? Naruto said before disappearing in a swirl of chakra. Naruto reappeared to see wide clearing with a small river cutting through the left side of it. Naruto, cracking his knuckles, quickly made a bunch of shadow clones and had them do random tasks that his teachers had told him to do that would increase his strength even more. While his clones did all of their exercises, Naruto was training his inherited powers from Kurama as well as the people he reincarnated. As of now, this was his standpoint on these powers. Rinshurun Tenseigan mastered all of the abilities of Rinnegan, all paths, Eternal Manjiki Sharingan, Tsukuyomi, Amaterasu, and Susanoo, and Tenseigan, known powers are mastered, Chakra Mode, and Golem. Chakra Chains. Mastered can expel an infinite amount of unbreakable chains from anywhere on his body. Basengan. Mastered created a variant for every single element, as well as can create them of any size, from the tip of his fingertip to the size of a large asteroid. Paration. Mastered can teleport without the use of seals, as long as he can see or knows where he is going. Seals. Master can produce seals with just chakra, as well as analyze any seal within seconds. Kagun. Master can use all types of Kagun, as well as use their kakuja without the need for cannibalism. Leech abilities. Master can use Soul Reaper powers, Kido, and Zanpakuto, Hollow powers, and Quincy abilities. Alchemy. Mastered can use alchemy without the need of a transmutation circle, as well as has no need for the rules of equivalent exchange. Branch of Sin. Master can create solid objects out of his blood, as well as give someone else a branch of sin. So those, as well as all of his other techniques, made up his arsenal. Thinking back on his life, it really was crazy how much could have been different had Kurama not given him the opportunity he had. He could be a doofus wearing all orange with only a handful in his arsenal, screaming about becoming the Hokage and spamming the same over and over again, and forgiving every single person who wronged him. He immediately shuddered at that thought. That sounds like someone he would kick the crap out of and wouldn't feel bad about it. Anyway, it had been a week since his little tussle with Zabuza. Kakashi had taken this chance to teach his team, and even then it's just chakra control. His sensei really is a lazy ass, not that there is anything he could teach him anyway. He was actually glad that Kakashi was lazy, because if he wasn't, Naruto would have a bit of a harder time enacting his plan. Naruto started to run through the forest at high speeds, while he could just stop time, and no one would be any the wiser. One thing he hated about that ability was the deafening silence. So, he would take this nice trip with time still flowing through, just listening to nature and his footfalls. It was beautiful and peaceful at the same time. Anyway, he was ecstatic when he heard that his first mission would be going to Wave. It would mean that he could go to the one place he had wanted to go for a while now, much easier, as it was just across the sea. Before he knew it, Naruto was at the edge of land, looking over the expanse of blue to a landmass in the distance. That landmass was his destination, the place he couldn't wait to get to. Not wanting to waste any time, our blonde hero took off across the sea with a grin on his face. After a couple of minutes of running, Naruto had to maneuver around some whirlpools in order to get to his destination. After that, it was smooth sailing, so to speak, and after another minute of running, he came to the shore to see a pathway under a too large way with a symbol resembling a circle with a spiral inside of it. Smiling, Naruto continued onward into the ancient ruins of Uzushiogakure, his rightful homeland, and everything in this place was his bloodline inheritance, and he was here to collect. He wasn't saying that everything was his entirely, and that he would desecrate this place just to get what he wanted. No, he was just here to get a few scrolls, weapons and artifacts, and be on his way. Hopefully, he could come back one day and rebuild this place, and start up a civilization to honor his people. But for now, he would just get what he needed and be on his way, maybe leave a few special clones to fix up the buildings while he's gone. Well, he better start before it gets dark. Naruto had been walking around for about an hour, entering buildings, picking up anything of value before spawning a few clones to clean the place up before moving on to the next building and repeating the process over and over again. He made sure to leave anything that seemed like family heirlooms or other things of sentimental value with their owners. He ended his trek at what looked like the Cage Office building. Shrugging, Naruto took the steps up to the top floor to see a large red ornate door with swirls all over it. Opening it, Naruto saw a big circular room with pictures of what he guessed was the previous cage. There was also a large oak desk with papers and other desk objects that looked like they were just put there yesterday. I wonder if Naruto thought out loud as he bit his thumb and swept his blood over the most recent picture, which had a regal-looking man with a broad chin and blood-red hair. He wore black samurai armor and a headband with an Uzumaki swirl on it. When Naruto swiped his blood, the picture shone with a bright light before disappearing to show a frame with a cubby with some scrolls and a sword in it. Naruto, deciding to see what the scroll said first, sat at the desk before opening it. Dear reader, if you are reading this, then that means we have failed to hold off the invading army. I am truly sorry to all of my subjects, I have failed you. But seeing as how you were able to open my secret compartment, you escaped your Aura descendant, I am glad that at least someone escaped, so, as the god I Musicage, I grant you all of the possessions in this office, including, but not limited to, my sword Dane's Leaf, which has the ability to make any wound you make with it not be able to be healed. You would also claim the scroll that is held in the seal at the bottom of the scroll that holds all of our clan's prizes and techniques. Use these well and only share them with your closest people. Use these to make our clan feared again. Use these to make a name for yourself and make people quake in your presence. I hope to see you once you pass on to the afterlife so that I can hear all of your stories. You also own this island. Please make this your home, as well as anyone who may join you on your quest. Make sure to give me plenty of descendants. I don't want another wipeout scare. There is also a seal that you can apply to your body to alert you when you come into contact with any other people of Uzumaki blood. This should help you with gathering up and uniting the Uzumaki people again. And finally, in this list anyway, you inherit everything behind the other cage's pictures, as well as what's in the basement of this building. You didn't see the door because it only shows itself when you have the key, also in the seal. I will leave what's in the basement a secret until you get down there, but I think you will enjoy it. Anyway, I hope you use these gifts well and protect the people precious to you. I hope you have a good life and make the Uzumaki proud, though, I know you will. But love, Yamori Uzumaki. Naruto finished reading with a smile on his face and tears in his eyes. He wouldn't let them fall, though. He had promised himself years ago to never cry again. Instead, he eyed the sword sheath before picking it up and unsheathing the blade. He gasped as he examined the legendary sword. It was a one-sided blade with a flower-looking guard. The handle was white with what looked like black medical tape around it. It also had a black gem at the bottom of the hilt, and a white line through the middle of the blade. Damn right, you gasped, I'm magnificent. Naruto heard a female voice in his mind. Who are you? Naruto asked out loud. Duh, I'm the sword you're holding. What, never seen a sentient sword before? The voice asked. Actually, no, I haven't. Naruto said, putting the sheath with the sword on his back. Well, I'm glad I'm your first. Pleasure to meet you. Dainsley said proudly. The pleasure's all mine. Now, let's go see what's in this basement, he said, as he unsealed the key from the seal and sealed all of the scrolls that were in the paintings before leaving the office and descending the stairs back down to the lobby. Looking around, Naruto saw the newly appeared doorway with an even more ornately designed doors. Fishing the key out of his pocket, he put the key into the keyhole, and to his surprise, it disappeared. Shrugging, he continued his journey to this mysterious basement. Looking at the stairway, he hung his head when he saw the extremely long way down. Deciding to get it over with, Naruto started jumping down the stairs with great bounds. He had reached the bottom in 1 minute flat, and when he did, he saw another set of steel double doors. Sighing at all of the precautions, he opened the doors to see the lights automatically come on. What he saw next was the second most surprising thing he had ever seen in his life, right behind Makoto, naked in his bed, trying to thank him for bringing her back to life. What he saw was more surprising than Kurama giving him the opportunity that he did. What he saw was something he would never forget, no matter what happens in his life. What Naruto saw in the vault was an incredibly large cave, filled with nearly everything you could imagine, from the basics like scrolls, weapons, and armor, to the more unique items, such as what looked like a jar of black sand, beakers, and tubes sitting everywhere, and large, bright computer screens at the end of the cavern. Curious, Naruto walked towards the large computer screens, all the while trying to take in all he could about this room. He would need at least a day to seal all of this stuff up, if shadow clones weren't a thing. Noticing he was getting closer to the screens, Naruto focused to see if he could make out what was on them. What he saw was an extremely detailed list that showed many people and a few details about that person, including home village, mission count, defining attributes, and Jinchuriki status. True to his observation, his picture was at the end of that list, along with his number and home village. Okay, why would someone have a list of every Jinchuriki? Naruto thought to himself. I have no idea, kid. Kurama replied, sounding just as focused as he was. Seeing that there was a back button, Naruto hurried to click it to find out any other secrets this computer held. He was not disappointed when he saw many lists such as Akatsuki, 7 ninja swordsmen, Sannin, and finally the names of many hidden villages. Okay, so this person has obviously been researching different groups and villages. The question is why? Naruto asked himself about clicking on the Akatsuki. I don't think that is any of your concern. A deep voice said from behind him. Looking up, Naruto turned around to see a man in a black cloak with red clouds decorating it. The man had dark orange hair with what looked like black rods piercing many parts of his body. But the one thing that surprised the blonde was not his blatant lack of a mirror, but it was his eyes. "The Rinnegan," Naruto said with a sigh. "For something that is supposed to be the rarest taijutsu in the world, it's been coming up quite a bit lately." The man narrowed his eyes before speaking again. "What are you talking about?" Deciding not to answer with just words, Naruto activated the Rinnegan part of his dojutsu. The man widened his eyes at the sight of the very dojutsu that resided in his eyes. "How do you have my eyes?" the man demanded. "Whoa, chill dude. They're not your eyes, I promise. Those are in your own head, dummy. How else could you see me?" Naruto said with an innocent laugh and a smile on his face. "Stop acting childish. I know that you're more than you seem. I will ask you one more time, how do you have the Rinnegan?" The man snarled. "Oh, that's easy. It appeared in my eyes one day and gave me such wonderful abilities," Naruto said as if it was the most obvious thing in the world. "Would you just cut the crap? Who are you and how did you get in here?" Mr. Grumpy, as Naruto has taken to calling him, said, switching gears in the conversation. "Oh, I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and I got here by walking down some stairs. Who are you?" "Because, to my knowledge, only an Uzumaki can get in here," Naruto said while grinning a childlike grin. This was his outside appearance, while on the inside he was talking with his tummy demon. "Kurama, who is this guy? How does he have the Rinnegan too?" Naruto asked. "I'm not sure on both accounts, kid. Though what I can tell you is that those rods that are in his body are not just for show. They seem to be linking him to someone else, giving him chakra. He seems to be using that other person's chakra as his own," Kurama replied while analyzing the newcomer. "My name is Pain, and no door can deny me access. These eyes can see everything, even those puny seals that hit the entrance from me." Then all it took was a bit of chakra to open the door, the now named Pain explained with an emotionless expression. "See, was that so hard? Now, I guess that makes you an Uzumaki too. Or whoever you're connected to is?" Naruto asked a little more seriously this time. Pain narrowed his eyes. "How did you know I'm connected?" "Oh, it's pretty easy when you're an amazing sensor, such as me. You can tell pretty easily that you share chakra with many other people. Makes me think, if you're using someone else's chakra, where's yours? And if you don't have any of your own chakra, are you considered dead?" Naruto asked, gaining a smirk. "You are too curious for your own good. It would be smart to kill you now, rather than let you go on to maybe spread this information," Pain said while lifting his arm with his palm facing the blonde. "I wouldn't do that if I were you. You see, without your other bodies, you would be at a disadvantage. As opposed to me who doesn't need to use any corpses to utilize the full power of the Rinnegan." Surprised. "Yeah, I know about your 6 paths of pain. Don't worry though, I won't tell anyone. I want to see what you do in the years to come. Though I will have to confiscate the items in this cave from you," Naruto said with a smirk. Pain narrowed his eyes before smirking and dropping his arm. "You are an interesting one, Naruto Uzumaki, but I'm afraid you will not be leaving here today." With that, the ground under Naruto burst open to show a beefy man with orange hair and black rods piercing his body, much like the first man. Naruto was then punched through the ceiling of the cavern into what looked like the village square. Groaning, Naruto stood up to see the 6 paths of pain, all standing in a line with the Deva path in the middle with a smirk on his face. "You thought you were so clever, thinking you could take on a god. In reality, you will only get squashed like the bug you are. You know the saying, 2 heads are better than 1. Well, this is something like that." The Deva path spoke before raising his arm once again and launching him at the blonde shinobi, Banshamtanan, heavenly attraction of all creation. With that call, Naruto was swept off of his feet and pulled by an invisible force towards the orange-haired group. Rolling his eyes, when he got within 7 feet of the group, Naruto used one of his own, Shunner Tensei, almighty push. Suddenly, the paths of pain were all sent back by an unseen force. "Did you really forget that I have the Rinnegan too? Geez, all of those heads, and you're still dumb as a rock," Naruto chuckled. "Doesn't matter, as all fall before God. Pain spoke before sending the other paths into action. The real fight started with the usurped path engaged the blonde by running uphand, by turning his arm into a cannon, shot at Naruto with a beam of energy. Naruto, being the baddest that he is, dodged the blast swiftly before engaging the mechanical path. Naruto started with a few punches to the chest and stomach before moving on to jump and spin kick his opponent in the face, sending him across the field. This also happened within a second, which is probably why the path had no time to fight back. Narrowing his eyes, the Deva path nodded towards the Preta path before going back to analyzing the battle. Naruto smiled and chose to go along with Pain's plan by engaging the Preta path, who started to sprint at him. That didn't work last time, now did it? Naruto asked while shaking his head. As Naruto went to punch the second path in the face, his fist was grabbed in an iron-like grip. A fraction of a second later, Naruto noticed that this path was draining his chakra. Smoking, Naruto used his other hand to unsheath Dane's leaf and quickly severed the offending limb from its body. The Preta path jumped back in order for it to gain some distance between it and Naruto, but the aforementioned blonde wasn't having any of that. Naruto quickly followed the path and had butted the path in the chin, causing the corpse to fly away. And you call yourself a god? This is merely a workout for me. Though not a very good one, Naruto said, while mumbling the last part. All the response he got was the Deva path narrowing his eyes. Thus then a puff of smoke was heard before Naruto turned to see another orange-haired path, this one female, standing atop a large two-headed dog. The animal path. Was wondering when you would bring this one out, Naruto said, barely suppressing a yawn. The animal path then silently commanded the dog to attack. Naruto, thinking quickly, jumped high enough to safely cover the bi-headed dog, and with a flip for flair, landed on its back. Naruto then ran towards the only female path before making a grab for his cloak. Before he could grab the cloak, the animal path jumped before landing on a pterodactyl as it took flight high above the battlefield. As Naruto was looking at the prehistoric bird, the human path dashed at him from behind, trying to grab the blonde in order to tear his soul out. When the human path was just a few feet away, Naruto turned around with a smirk on his face, as his eyes met those of the paths. The blonde genin grabbed the offending limb by the wrist and spun it around before bringing it down hard. The body slam, while meaning to harm the path, also caused the summoned dog to dispel. While Naruto and the path were free falling, the animal path came in contact with the long extinct bird and swooped in to attack and claw at Naruto. Said blonde, not wanting to get turned into Swiss cheese, used his shin or tensei to expel the prehistoric bird and his summoner away from the blonde, as well as send the human path hurtling towards the ground at an even faster pace. As soon as his feet hit the ground, Naruto was forced to dodge a black rod that was shot from the hand of the Deva path. Deciding to look at his last two opponents, Naruto turned to see all of the paths standing in a line, excluding the human path that was lying under his boot. He caught the end of the Naraka path, which revived the formerly defeated paths to brand new. I see. Well, aren't you just a party pooper? Well, I guess it's time to get serious, Naruto said with a smirk as he cracked his neck and knuckles. Seeing the Deva path's unconvinced smirk, Naruto started to unleash his hold on his chakra, letting all of the chakra that he has been keeping concealed be felt. This caused his smirk to leave his face faster than even the Hiraishin, as Naruto's base chakra was on par with that of the Sanbai. Now that he didn't have to hold back, Naruto rushed the line of paths while forming a wind-style Rasen Shuriken. Narrowing his eyes, the Deva path held up his hand once again and spoke the words, Bansha Tenin, in order to throw Naruto off balance and have him rocket towards the group. Smirking, Naruto shrunk the Rasen Shuriken to where it looked like you lost focus, and it dissipated. The Deva path then summoned a black rod from Kami knows where and used it to spear the offending blonde through the stomach. You really need to work on some strategies after this. With a shake of his head, Naruto burst into smoke, signaling that it was a shadow clone, but not before growing the Rasen Shuriken back to normal size and dropping it onto the ground. Having come into contact with something with enough mass to cause it to detonate, aka the ground, the S rank rapidly expanded, catching a few of the paths in the blast radius, effectively disintegrating him. These paths included the Deva, Naraka, animal, and human paths. Well, there goes your most powerful and important paths, the Deva and Naraka respectively. That's gotta be a big loss on your end. Are you sure you want to continue? Naruto asked with a confident smirk. His only answer was the Preta and Azura paths rushing towards him with anger written all over their faces. With a sigh, Naruto took off his shirt, eliciting a confused look from the paths, who stopped in caution and curiosity before sealing it away in a storage seal on his side. Bending forward a bit, Naruto's muscles tensed before a pair of red and black flames erupted from his shoulder blades. Taking a moment to focus on the flames, the paths noticed that they sort of looked like wings. Seeing their confused faces, Naruto smirked before tensing again, which caused the flames to harden like crystals to form what looked like angel wings, to tail down to the very last feather. This is part of my bloodline, called Ikaku, or Shining Feather, one of my favorites out of the four for its beauty and precision. Something you will be able to witness in a moment, Naruto spoke after admiring his wings for a moment and smiling as he remembered how he acquired them. Flashback. During training with Kaneki and Tauka. Here we have a younger Naruto standing before two people, a man and woman, who each wore some unique clothing. At least unique in the elemental nations. The first, a man with snow-white hair, wore a short-sleeved, black-skin-tight shirt, thick under armor, that showed off his lean, but muscular, physique. He also wore black cargo pants with a brown belt holding them tight to his waist. To finish off the look, Kaneki wore black and dark blue tennis shoes. The second, a woman with dark blue hair that covered one of her eyes, wore a white button-up shirt underneath a blue zip-up jacket. She also wore blue jeans and some white and blue flat-bottomed shoes. Think Converse or along those lines. So, how do you plan on acquiring our powers for us to teach you? Kaneki asked the blonde child. Oh, that's easy. All I have to do is touch where you are located and focus a bit of chakra into the spot before forming my own, the Kagun gland, with chakra. It's harder than it sounds, but Kurama will assist me until I can do it on my own. Naruto explained with a grin. Okay, well, mine is in my lower back, so here you go. Kaneki said after lifting his shirt up a bit and turning around. Thank you, Naruto said after a few moments with his palm pressed against Kaneki's lower back. Wow, you would think it would have hurt a bit, Kaneki said after feeling his lower back to see if anything changed. Nope, just a simple scan. Think of me as a copier that has just scanned you Kagun, and is printing it right now in my body, Naruto said and, after taking a minute to meditate and formed a turn to Taka. Your turn, if you don't mind, of course. Yeah. Mine's on my shoulder blades, Taka said, looking uneasy before grabbing the hem of her shirt. Oh, you don't need to do that. I can just reach under your shirt if it makes you feel better. Naruto rushed after seeing her discomfort. Oh yeah, that would probably be best. Just no funny business, she said with a slight blush of embarrassment. Of course not, I wouldn't dream of it. Naruto smirked before moving behind Toga and slid his hands just underneath the hem of her shirt. Naruto, having an idea, slowly moved his hands up her back, making sure to drag his fingers lightly against her flawless skin. Naruto could just make out an increase in her breaths and her slightly relaxed slouch. Smirking, he continued his journey up to her shoulder blades. Unfortunately, he reached his destination faster than he thought he would. He then placed his palms against her shoulder blades and started his scan. Sensing something off in her right wing, Naruto focused on her right shoulder blade, dismissing the left one for now, as he didn't sense anything wrong with it. Asking, Naruto stopped his scan and opened his eyes. What? What's wrong? She asked, hoping he hadn't seen what her brother did to her all those years ago. What happened to you? Who did this? Naruto asked in concern. Sigh, it was a long time ago, and with that she went on to tell Naruto the story of how her brother beat her down before feasting on her wings. Kaneki looked down at that as he remembered the beating he gave Ayato afterwards. Would you like me to heal it? Naruto said after getting his anger under control. A brother was supposed to protect his siblings, not beat them down. Why, you can fix it. Tauka asked in surprise, also getting a surprised look from Kaneki. Yeah, it would be a bit painful, but I should be able to relatively quickly, Naruto said after getting quick confirmation from Kurama. Yes. Please. Taka pleaded in a very Taka-like way. Please lay on your stomach while I get started, Naruto said, relaying what Kurama was telling him. Following his directions, Naruto started rubbing his hands together while charging chakra into his palms. When he got into a steady rhythm, the blonde started adding a bit of Kurama's chakra into the mix until it was perfectly balanced between regular chakra and chakra. After he was done, Naruto gently placed his hands on Taka's right shoulder blade, the chakra causing Taka to hiss a little. Now was the hard part. Naruto would have to perfectly channel the chakra mixture into the damage and forcefully regrow the wing by causing the RC cells to rapidly reproduce and form it into an exact replica of the left wing. Closing his eyes and taking a deep breath, Naruto slowly started this process. Time skip. It took about half an hour before he was done. He would have done it faster if he didn't have to make sure that the RC cells were reproducing and staying intact and preventing any dangerous mutations from occurring. He also couldn't freeze time as it also froze the bodily processes, hence why he didn't age from all of those years training, and why he didn't need to stop training to eat or drink, though he did out of habit. With a sigh, Naruto lifted his hands from her back and slid them out from under her shirt. Seeing that his patient was unconscious, Naruto stood and picked Haruka up bridal style before moving her over to where he had instructed Kaneki to set up a pseudo-bed for her to rest on. After setting her down, Naruto turned to Kaneki, who had a look of worry on his face. Don't worry, she will be fine. She just needs rest, though she should wake up in an hour or two. How about we start training as a way to take your mind off of it as well as make time pass faster? Sure, and Naruto seeing that he had his attention, he continued, thank you. This really means a lot to her. Smiling, Naruto responded, it's nothing, just trying to help out a friend. With that, the two began to train vigorously for the next hour and a half. Time skip. Tautka woke up to hear what sounded like two people fighting. Curiously, she turned her head to see Naruto and Kaneki fighting, both using what looked like red and black tentacles that protruded from their lower back. Assuming the worst, Taka rushed up and yelled out to the two, "What the hell is going on here?" This interruption effectively stopped the two in their tracks, and not a moment too soon as a tentacle from both of them was about an inch from piercing the other's body. "Oh, Taka-chan, you're up. I figured you would be out for at least another half hour before you got up. How are you feeling?" Naruto said, retracting his kagyan back into his lower back. "What the hell do you mean, how am I feeling? Why were you guys fighting about?" Taka asked in disbelief that they could just nonchalantly blow off their fight at the drop of a hat. "Oh, we were just sparring, you know, just trying to get him used to using his Kagen in a fight," Kaneki said sheepishly. "Yeah, but more importantly, how are you? Try and bring out your Kagen to show us if it is reformed correctly," Naruto said, anticipating the show. "Oh, right? Well, let's give this a try," she said before tensing her muscles and bending forward a bit before her wings burst forth from her back, looking like liquid crystals. What she was ecstatic about was that there were two of them. Finally, she felt complete again. "Well, take them for a test run," Naruto suggested, smiling at seeing how happy Taka was. With a nod, Taka started to run forward before launching crystals at a tree from both wings, shredding the tree into pieces. Seeing her results, she continued to run around launching crystals of various objects in the clearing. "Looking good," Naruto yelled to the ecstatic ghoul as Kaneki woodruffed from the sidelines. After a couple of minutes, panting, though with a smile on her face, Taka returned to the two males and immediately hugged Naruto tightly. "Okay, I'm ready now," Taka said from Naruto's shirt, and flashed back. "These wings were gift from a dear friend of mine, so try not to bleed too much on them," Naruto said, as he vanished in a burst of speed that even the Rinnegan couldn't track. In the next moment, the azure path had multiple wounds all along his body. These wounds ranged from shallow cuts to full-on missing limbs. Appearing on the other side of the path, Naruto skipped to a stop, spinning to rid his wings of his blood. Seeing that he wasn't getting back up, Naruto quickly fired a crystal feather from his left wing that embedded itself into his skull, effectively returning him back into a corpse. Now, with only one left, Naruto tensed and changed the form of his wings back into what looked like wild flames. "You are all alone, Preeta. I gave you all the chance to leave with your lives, but you You just had to take my mercy and spit it in my face. Well, you had your chance. Having said his bit, Naruto got up close and spun around the shocked body, effectively setting the last path ablaze in a sea of red and black flames. As Naruto watched the pre-Tao path try to absorb the flames, he realized that there was no chakra in them, a little too late, but it was a good effort. Deciding that he's had enough, Naruto clenched his right hand into a fist, which had the effect of solidifying the flames around the corpse. He then clenched his right hand into a fist. Looking around, Naruto quickly changed his eyes to his Mangekyo Sharingan and used the madrasa to burn the body and crystal pieces to ashes. On his way out of the square, Naruto noticed the black rod that the Deva path used to spear his shadow clone through the stomach. Taking it into his hand, Naruto closed his eyes as he channeled chakra into the rod, effectively pinpointing where the original was. Pain, you better have some damn good bodyguards because I'm coming for you, and I'd better get a better workout than this little spat, Naruto said as he twirled around to return to the cave to take anything that he finds useful. After going through all of the files on the computer as well as the inventory of the cave, our favorite blonde hero only took one thing he found with him. He actually found it in a chest that was secure with the most highly complicated seals as well as chains that seemed to be made of chakra and was being powered by a self-regulating source of chakra that was coming from underneath the island. So, after making sure the chakra source wasn't powering anything else important, which it wasn't, making Naruto's interest in the chest reach its peak to know that all of that chakra was only being used to power the security to the chains, he went ahead and drained the chakra source dry before unlocking the seals. What was inside, however, was quite disappointing. All that was inside was a white kitsune mask with red fillings for the ears, a red curved line for the mouth, and red ovals around the eye holes, as well as around a black circle on the forehead, Memo's mask from Road to Ninja, and a piece of paper that probably explained the contents of the chest. Opening the paper first, Naruto saw that his assumptions were correct. Dear reader, if you are reading this, then you have been chosen by the Uzukage to be next to wield these legendary items. Use these items well and bring terror to those who oppose you as well as bring calm to your loved ones. Grow strong and bring Uzukage back to its full glory. The only item within this chest, the Tenko Fox mask, has been in this chest since the very first Uzumaki. This mask has the ability to let all who look through it see into another life. The reason this is locked away is because all who look through this mask are given whatever other life they witness as power. The only downside is that the wearer is not able to choose the life they view. This mask can only be used once per person. Now, this letter also has instructions on how to perform one of our signatures. The instructions are within a seal on the back of this paper. Use this item to fulfill your every desire and grow strong. We do not care what you do with your new power, as we have lost any and all allies we had, which I admit was only Konohagakure and Sunagakure when Kono had decided not to send any reinforcements. Though please spare Sunagakure as they were actively helping us, though they could not at this time due to being held back by a group of soldiers tasked with keeping us without any help, and we are all good friends with the third Kazukiage. But I wish you good luck in your ventures. With love, Asaka Uzumaki. Naruto, choosing to save the form later, sealed it into a seal on his wrist before fixing the sealing with a minor earth dot. Not wanting to wait any longer, Naruto placed the mask onto his face and looked through the eye holes, only to be immediately bombarded with memories that weren't his own. Memories of someone who looked like him, named Menu Uzumaki. Living his life before, near the age of 16, he left his Konoha and started capturing people with special abilities. Menma was able to release his version of Kurama in his full form, as well as his 9 masked beasts, as well as coming up with his version of a Rasengan called the Spiraling Ring, which was much stronger than a normal Rasengan. He saw how Menma eventually claimed that world as his own and ruled as a ruthless tyrant over the people who rebelled and a powerful monarch to those who were content. How he even combined them into one, creating the Juba once again, and making him its Jinchuriki. What made him mad was that while their relationship wasn't as good as Naruto's and Kurama's was, Menma completely betrayed his version of Kurama and took away the only thing that truly embodies the concept of living, the consciousness. He stripped his Kurama and the others of their consciousness before morphing them into the Jubi. After organizing the techniques and discarding any memories he didn't need or want, Naruto opened his eyes to see the mask in his hand slightly pulled away from his face. Relaxing his frame for a second, he concluded that only about a minute had passed. You see all that, Kurama? Naruto asked his tenant. Yeah, it's strange to think of a world where I wasn't a god and could be dominated so easily by a normal human. Granted, that human had great techniques, but it wouldn't have any effect on me personally. And to think that he took away my consciousness after all I'd done for him. Kurama gave his 2 cents while playing some of the memories back in his mind. Yeah, strange is one way to put it. Anyway, let's leave already. I've still got a mission to complete, he said before sealing the mask into his wrist seal. Naruto left the cave with a smile on his face. Not only did he gain some more power, he also got some information on this pink person and also got some information from their computer system. As he walked back through the village, Naruto created more clones to fix up the town square and some of the other buildings. He then left through the same gate that he came into before water ran back to the mainland. It took a couple of hours of casual running, but he eventually made his way back to Tezuna's house. When he arrived, he saw that there were sword slashes across trees and even a boar. Speeding up now, he saw a couple of thugs dragging Tsunami out of her house before Inari ran out of the house, yelling at the thugs to let his mother go. Seeing this, one thug ran at the child ready to cut the brat up. Naruto, seeing as the thug wasn't aware of anyone else around, created a clone to take down the one holding Tsunami, while the original intercepted the one charging Inari. You're gonna die, brat, the thug said, completely confident that the kid would be dead in a couple of seconds. I don't think so, a voice said from his side. He looked to his right to see a fist coming straight at his face. Seeing as the threat was out of the way for now, Naruto turned to Inari and said, "Good job, kid. You did good work distracting that thug. It gave me the chance to save your mother and you." Now, of course, it was a small lie, as he could have just stopped time or used his incredible speed to incapacitate them. But the kid was brave, and that was worth the praise. "Naruto, thank you," he said as he cried lightly. "It's okay to cry if you're happy. Now I need to go to the bridge to make sure your grandfather is alright," Naruto said with a smile. Naruto heard a grunt from his left as he looked and saw the thug getting back up, albeit very slowly. Thus, as the thug finished getting up, he did the last thing any enemy of Naruto Uzumaki should do. He looked him in the eyes, and the only thing he saw was red before he curled up into the fetal position and rocked back and forth while murmuring something about a demonic mother-in-law. Seeing as how his job was done, he started running towards the direction of the bridge after leaving the clone there for protection. When he arrived, the sight he came upon was one that he probably should have been expecting. There was his supposed team, minus Yuki, fighting Zabuza and Haku, while the workers were standing at the entrance to the bridge with Yuki guarding them. Apparently, Kakashi thought he could take on Zabuza alone while leaving Sasuke to Haku, punching his hand into a fist at the blatant act of disrespect by his so-called team, again minus Yuki. Naruto walked ominously through the fog towards Zabuza's fight. 5 minutes earlier. He couldn't believe this shit. First of all, he couldn't kill Gato and had to act all chummy with the tyrant. Secondly, he was being attacked by his ally's teammates after swearing on his word that he would be a spy. Maybe the worst thing about all of this would be that he doubted Naruto even knew about this betrayal. What the hell are you thinking? We are on the same side now, you dumbass. Or did you forget the little deal we made with Naruto? Zabuza said, asked the deranged. Any deal that Brad made is null and void, as he has no power to make such a deal. And do you really expect me to believe that an A-rank missing nin, known for killing his entire graduating class, would respect any deal made with a lowly genin? Kakashi countered with a haughty smirk. I made that deal with my word on the line. I wouldn't dare break that deal if only for the conservation of my reputation. Plus, I respect anyone that can beat me easily, especially if that person is as young as Naruto is, and only a genin. You're well respected and you're having trouble against me. What does that say to you? Zabuza said, taunting them at the end. He got lucky and he was probably using his demonic chakra to beat you. Kami knows very few can best to. Kakashi replied, letting loose that Naruto was a dot. No, he didn't use any of his Biju's chakra, or else we would have sensed the maliciousness in the air. He beat me fair and square, And as much as I loathe to admit, he is more powerful than both of us, maybe even combined," Zabuza said as he hid in the fog, trying to avoid injuring them, lest he change the story to make it sound like the missing Nin attacked first. "That demon is only stronger because of him. And even then, they can be controlled with a simple Sharingan. Just goes to show you that not even an almighty demon can stand the power of the Sharingan." Kakashi smirked as he uncovered his stolen Sharingan. "You know, you were an asshole before, but now you've crossed the line, assaulting my allies like that. You've just made a very big mistake," a voice said from behind him. Not getting a chance to turn around, Kakashi was suddenly sent flying forward into the side of the bridge before being embedded into the concrete. "Thanks for the assist. Didn't want to injure the prick just in case he tried to spin this story," Zabuza said with a sigh as he lifted the fog. "No problem, now let's deal with Uchiha," Naruto said with a glare at the knocked-out Dot. Just then, the two shinobi felt a cold chill run across their skin, to which Zabuza gained a curious expression. "I wonder why Haku would use that technique. Seems a bit overkill to use her Kekkei Genkai on a genin, even if he isn't a Uchiha." Zabuza thought out loud with a "what technique is she using? I can't have Sasuke dying just yet. I still need him for the Chunin exams. Though I could do it on my own, I doubt anyone with power would let me participate by myself. And while I don't particularly care for the rank or proving my worth to insects like the people in Konoha, it would be funny to destroy Sasuke in the finals in front of all of his fan base," he asked, not picking up his pace in the slightest. "It's called demonic eye spheres. It allows Haku to transport herself through these crystal mirrors at near instantaneous speeds while hurling at her target. Against someone like Sasuke, it's lucky that she doesn't enjoy killing because he would be dead in an instant." Zabuza finished explaining as they came upon the fight. What they saw was pretty much what they expected: Sasuke, laying on the ground unconscious, looking like a human pincushion, while Haku stood over him, looking as if she hadn't been touched. "Did he at least give you a minor training session?" Naruto asked with a smirk. "Not even close. Even though he had the Sharingan, he lacked the speed required to put it to its full use." Haku's soft voice carried over to the two men. "Yeah, he finds that the Sharingan is all he needs to win. Anyway, let's get these two tied up and then take them back to the house. We wouldn't want them to think that this little act of betrayal would go unpunished, would we?" Naruto said, finishing with a small demonic smile that caused Haku to blush, though it was hidden by her faux hunter Nin mask. Lucky men, the big bad demon has betrayed us." "I guess this means that I won't have to pay you then," said a voice from the other side of the bridge. A small group turned to see a short man with a business suit, cane, and sunglasses, leading what looked like a large group of thugs and mercenaries, all carrying what they thought looked intimidating. "You must be the little shit named Gato. Wow, bringing all of these thugs for little Olemi. I think I should feel flattered, though all I'm feeling is disappointment at the lack of skill your men exude. They look like you just picked them up off the side of the street, gave them some weapons, promised them money, and sent them on their merry way without giving a damn about if they could use Sai weapon." Naruto insulted with a bored expression. "Why, you little shit. Alright men, the first one to bring me his head will double their pay. Anyone who brings me the women of this little group can have one of them after I break them in first." Gato leered with a pompous stance. "You just signed your death warrant, bud. Well, I'm sure the women of this group can handle themselves. Your leering at them like a piece of meat is seriously pissing me off. So, how about a little deal? You sign over your money and rights to all of your companies to me and I won't kill you. What do you say?" Naruto asked with a smirk, knowing he wasn't going to take his deal. "You must not know how to count, little boy. You don't stand a chance against this many thugs. You might be able to kill 1/4 of them all with help from your group, but you will soon be overrun. So no, I won't take your deal, as tempting as it was. Get them, boys." The short little bastard smirked as his minions charged forward. "Oh well, guess we'll just have to surrender and hope for a swift death." Naruto pretended to concede before a large sadistic smirk snaked its way across his face as his eyes gained a small glint in them. "Nah. I'll rip your boys to shreds with one move before slicing your head from your shoulders with a rusty spoon." While Naruto's group was smiling for most of that, they gained confused expressions at the random method of decapitation Naruto chose. Before they could question him on it, however, they saw that he had already moved to where he was in between his group and the mass of thugs. He then raised his hand before wind started to spiral in front of his palm, creating a dark purple orb with what looked like planetary rings spinning around it before coming to a stop as they all aligned themselves. I've wanted to try this one out since I saw it first used. Be glad I'm wasting even this much chakra on you, and thanks for being the guinea pigs for this. Spiraling ring. Naruto shouted with glee as he brought his arm back before launching it forward, releasing it towards the army. The thugs could do nothing as the orb of death sped towards them, slicing them apart with its rings as it journeyed to the middle of the group. Once it had reached its destination, the ball exploded outward, destroying everyone in its vicinity, stopping just after consuming the last of the thugs. Once the smoke cleared, Geto looked on in disbelief as he just witnessed his entire army of thugs get decimated with only one dot. Seeing the Bono monster walking towards him, Geto started to shake as he begged his feet to take him somewhere, anywhere that wasn't in the path of this demon. So, you want to make that deal now? Naruto said with a smirk. Yes. Please, I will do anything. Just let me live. Geto pleaded. Okay, Sai, I'm here and I won't kill you, he said, holding out a piece of paper on a clipboard while pointing at a signature line at the bottom with a pen. Quickly grabbing the offered pen, Geto wrote his signature down as fast as possible before stepping back and sighing in relief. Smokin', Naruto grabbed Geto's shirt and lifted him up to his eye level. What, I thought you said you weren't going to kill me? Geto accused frantically, and I am a man of my word. Though I never said I would protect you if someone else were to kill you. And with that response, Naruto tossed the short bastard over his shoulder, right into the path of Zabuza's sword slash. Seeing as how that little squirt was dealt with, Naruto and Zabuza walked back to the group. On the way, Zabuza turned to Naruto to see him reading the contract. So, what are you gonna do with all that money and influence? The former member of the 7 ninja swordsmen asked. Nothing, as it's not mine to use. Naruto replied, eliciting a confused look from Zabuza before Naruto held the contract out towards the missing Nin. Why, he asked as he read. Apparently Naruto had Geto sign all of his money and financial influence directly into an account under Zabuza's name. Yep, you now have all of your former employer's money and influence. What you do with it is none of my concern, but I do hope that you stay in my employment even if you're not in the village, Naruto said as they reached Haku, Yuki, and Tazuna as the workers went home being dismissed for the day. I do appreciate all you've done for me and Haku, so I would be happy to join you. However, the decision is ultimately up to Haku, Zabuza said with a smile. What's up to me? Haku asked as she caught the end of that conversation. I was offering Zabuza here a job in my employment. You both would act as spies and travel around, gathering information and even allies if they come around. So, what do you say? He explained. I don't mind. But if I may, why didn't you offer us asylum in Konoha? I mean, we probably wouldn't take it as we've heard of the way they obsess over bloodline limits, but it still strikes me as odd. Haku asked, showing her intellect and deductive skills. Very astute of you, Haku-chan. To answer your question, I don't give a rat's ass about Konoha. They are corrupted beyond belief and will do anything for power, and while they would have no real power over you as you would be under my protection, it is just easier this way. Also, I will send word to Kiri and tell them that you are no longer a missing Nin. Naruto explained with a bored tone as he tied up Sasuke and Kakashi before creating a clone to take them to Tazuna's house. I see. But yeah, I'm fine with this plan of action. It would be fun traveling the world, you know, while not being a fugitive. But you know, they're in the middle of a civil war right now. There's a division of power, so I'm not sure who's going to get your message. Zabuza explained. Oh, that's true, the bloodline purges. I will deal with it. In the meantime, stay in wave and train your hardest. I will not be represented by weak people. Your reputation will only get you so far. I will also be leaving you a training schedule with some techniques that will increase your power. The blonde genin said sagely. Yeah, I guess you're right. Thank you, Naruto-sama. Zabuza and Haku bowed in respect. No need for that. I was never one for honorifics. Naruto replied with a large smile. Oh, thank Kami, no offense, but calling someone so much younger than me Sama is just weird. Zabuza said with a shudder that caused everyone else to laugh. Well, Tazuna, let's get this bridge built. Naruto yelled enthusiastically. Yeah, Tazuna and the rest of the workers replied, mirroring his enthusiasm. With the abuse of shadow clones and an occasional time stop, the bridge was finished in record time. They decided to stay an extra night to party the next day, then leave that night back home. While this was happening, Kakashi and Sasuke had been under house arrest until they got back to Konoha. This was done by Naruto placing chakra lock seals on both of them, and forcing them to do manual labor around the house for the tsunami under the supervision of some Naruto clones. At the party, Naruto was walking around in his usual attire, seeing as how it was formal in itself, with a cup of cola in his left hand and his right in his pocket. He was about to walk around some more before someone tapped him on his shoulder. Turning around, Naruto was met with the sight of a small girl covered in rags, looking at him with a blush while twiddling her fingers. Sir, I was wondering if you would maybe want to dance with me? She asked while looking down like she had done something wrong. Curious, Naruto looked around and saw a group of girls, about her age but with a bit nicer clothing, all pointing and laughing at the little girl. Smirking, Naruto turned back to the girl in front of him and held out his hand. It would be an honor. She looked up suddenly in surprise before smiling a megawatt smile and taking his outstretched hand. Looking over to the hired band, Naruto gave them a nod and motioned to the girl. Understanding what he wanted, the lead guitarist motioned to his band members with a smile. As Naruto and the girl reached the dance floor, the band started playing a slow, romantic song. Naruto, positioning the girl onto his feet, started slowly dancing while holding the girl in a hug. The girl then looked over to where the group of girls were standing to see them looking on in jealousy. Thinking quickly, the girl stuck her tongue out the group before going back to dancing with the hero wave. They spent the next couple of hours just dancing and talking. Naruto bought her all the food and clothes she wanted and even introduced her to Inari, who was speechless when he saw her, something Naruto took as teasing material. After the first couple of minutes, she officially introduced herself as Asano, not based off of anyone from any show, and she admitted that he was her idol and that she wanted to be just like him someday. Someone who could instill help in so many people with a smile never leaving their face. That made him smile. This is what he wanted with all of his heart. To be able to be someone people can look up to and be someone his parents could look up to. The day was ending fast as the sun was descending into the western horizon. When the party had ended and the citizens were all asleep, Team 7 left the village of Wave after Naruto disabled the chakra locking seals so they could travel at ninja speeds on a direct route back to Konoha. Naruto smiled thinking of all of the friends he's made. Naruto, we need to talk. Kurama spoke in a serious tone. What do you mean? Talk about what? Naruto replied to his tenant. When you took the memories and techniques from your other self, it altered your personality a bit. Didn't you realize there was something different when you were fighting? Kurama asked. Yeah, I did. I seemed more aggressive and bloodthirsty. Naruto replied after a bit of thought. Yeah, that was the cause of the merging. You seem to have taken more than just techniques and memories. You took some of his personality too. As of right now, you seem to have taken his temper and bloodthirst. The problem is that I suspect these traits will grow more prominent as time goes on. How prominent those traits become, or if there will be any more of his traits joining you, I do not know. I don't think you will be all that affected unless you get angry or someone threatens the things or people you care for. Kurama explained in a serious tone. I see. Well, it doesn't matter all that much, I guess. I can still control myself, and if it gets to be a problem, I can just seal off those traits with the well-placed Uzumaki seal. Thanks for the heads up, though. Naruto thanked with a small smile. In the outside world, Team 7 were on their way back to Konoha after about a full day of partying in celebration of Naruto's accomplishments, though the blonde hero made sure to give Zabuza and Haku credit for holding off his teammates until he could arrive, as well as how Zabuza was the one who actually killed Gato. Anyway, it was pretty uneventful even though they could move at regular shinobi speeds. It was when they were approaching the entrance that things got interesting. There, Sprinting out of the entrance was Mizuki holding a large scroll on his back and an unconscious pink-haired girl in his arm. Once he got a bit closer, the group could tell that the scroll was actually the Forbidden Scroll of Sealing, and the girl was Sakura Haruno, an academy student who failed the exams due to having little to no combat skill. "Hey now, where are you going in such a hurry, Mizuki-sensei? And was Sakura and the Scroll of Sealing too?" Naruto asked, not moving from his relaxed stance. "None of your business, brat, now get out of the way," Mizuki yelled as he tried to speed past the group. Key work there was tried. As soon as he tried to pass Naruto, said Blonde stuck his leg out, causing the Chunin to face plant into the dirt and roll a bit past him, unfortunately, or fortunately if you're Naruto, taking Sakura down with him. "Oh no, you tripped. Here, let me help you up," Naruto said with a smirk as he walked towards the downed Mizuki. "What the hell did you do that for?" "You bra." Before he could complete that insult, Naruto grabbed his hair and bashed his head into the surprisingly rocky ground. "He broke my nose." Ah, and there his face went again. Stow, and again. Foo, and again. Choosing not to say anything this time, Mizuki noticed that Naruto had stopped slamming his face into the ground. "Fina," and there he went again. "Naruto, what the hell are you doing?" the silver-haired bastard yelled at the blonde genin. "Trying to help the guy up, but he keeps wanting to put his head down. I think he's tired or something," Naruto replied, holding Mizuki's head up to show his dazed and bloody face. "Well, stop trying to help him," Kakashi demanded, not buying his excuse for a second. "Okay, if you say so," Naruto said cheekily as he dropped the Chunin's head, causing him to face plant once more. Looking down at the Chunin in agony, Naruto decided to take the scroll from his back and strap it onto his own. "Naruto, you're under arrest for attacking a fellow Konoha shinobi and for stealing the Scroll of Sealing," Kakashi said smugly. "As a count is stealing if you steal it from a thief. And if he's a traitor, is he still a Konoha shinobi? Million real questions here." Naruto thought out loud with a hand on his chin in a thoughtful pose. "What are you talking about, Dobe?" Sasuke asked demanded. "Takashi? I'm so glad you're here. Have you seen Mizuki come through Hyo?" Turning, the group saw Iruka run onto the scene and start asking questions, that is until he saw the person of his interest on the ground, spewing blood from his nose, mouth, and pretty much his entire face. "Oh, Iruka-sensei, what do you need with Mizuki-sensei?" Naruto asked innocently. He had Sakura-sen steal the Scroll of Sealing so that he could take it and leave, apparently taking Sakura with him. Iruka explained, still wondering what happened to Mizuki and why his saver student had the Forbidden Scroll on his back. And how the hell did someone of Sakura-sen caliber steal what is supposed to be the most well-guarded object in this village? Kakashi asked, astounded at the revelation. Apparently Mizuki already had all of it planned out. All she had to do was wait for the council to call a meeting with Hokage-sama and sneak into his office. Then she just found the spot where the scroll was hidden, which Mizuki here told her where it was, and left through the window. How she got to their meeting spot without anyone spotting her with a giant scroll on her back is beyond me. Iruka finished explaining with a sigh, wondering what could have possessed Sakura to accept this type of mission. How unusual. Sakura isn't one to betray her village just because someone told her to, Kakashi wondered, causing Naruto to deadpan her. Maybe he promised her that she could fuck Sasuke here if she helped him. Naruto laughed. Well, what happened? They turned towards the new voice to see Sakura waking up from her spot on the ground next to Mizuki. The sleeping, well, not beauty, but I don't know. You're awake, Naruto said before chuckling at himself. You're very funny, Dobe, Sasuke sarcastically replied. Why, thank you, I'll be here all week. Now, Haruno, why did you betray the leaf? Naruto replied, just as sarcastically before turning to look at Sakura with a smirk. I didn't betray anyone, Baka. Mizuki said that if I got that scroll and gave it to him I would take your place on Sasuke-kun's team, and you just had to go and ruin it like you do everything else. Why couldn't you just leave everyone alone? I'm sure Sasuke would want me on his team rather than you. Sakura explained before choosing to berate Naruto. I'm not so sure with that loud voice of yours, Sasuke thought while cleaning out his ear with his pinky. Well, What you actually did was steal the scroll of sealing and assist a traitor in taking said scroll out of the village to Kami knows where, effectively letting Konoha seekers out to its enemies. But I can't really fault you for that. I would have done it for absolutely nothing, Naruto explained before whispering the last part into Sakura's ear with a smirk, causing her to gasp. Now, let's get the traitor in lockup and get Harino here back to wherever she needs to go. Don't worry, Irika, we're going to the Hokage anyway, so I'll take the scroll to him. Naruto told the man who at least treated him neutrally in the academy at first before slowly becoming like an older brother. Oh, okay then. I'll take Mizuki to Ibiki and tea, and I thank you, Naruto. I don't think I would have caught up to him in time. Irika thanked as he picked up the traitor and used Shunshin to quickly travel to his destination. Sakura, you better come with us to see the Hokage. I'm sure he would like to speak with you, Kakashi suggested, acting like it was him who caught the traitor. After a couple of minutes, Team 7 and Sakura was standing in front of the Hokage as he stared at the scroll on the blonde genin's back. So, you were heading back from your mission, and you just ran into Mizuki on your way into the village. You also befriended an A-rank missing Nin and his daughter and attacked your teammates, taking the side of these criminals rather than your team, the aged man questioned, already trying to figure a way to get Naruto back under his control. Pretty much. They chose to attack my associates who I had already made a contract with, and were therefore under my protection, so I had no choice but to protect my employees, Naruto explained, covering the fact that he already wanted to attack them, and was just hoping for a reason. Well, I guess I can't do anything as they were under your client's protection, but please refrain from attacking Konoha Shinobi anymore, he said, hoping his friendly attitude would put him off enough for the old man to signal his Anbu to attack. Yeah, I'll think about it. Are we done here, 'cause I need to go meet up with some people? Naruto asked impatiently, like anyone would want to meet up with you. Sakura commented quietly. Yeah, unlike you, I actually have a voice that doesn't destroy people's eardrums. Now, goodbye all. And with that, the blonde genin took his leave, making his way to his house. When he finally arrived, he walked in to see Kushina and Makoto were cooking dinner, while Shusui and Madara were both reading, waiting for dinner to be done. He could also hear some ruckus in the back, so he guessed Taka and Shiro were training back there. No one noticed his presence until he coughed into his hand, causing everyone that was inside to look towards the front door to see the trademark grin on Naruto's face. I'm back. That was all he could get out before he heard loud footsteps coming from the hallway leading to the backyard. Before he could react, a white blur glomped on him, smashing his face into his chest. After everything slowed down, Naruto was able to discern that the attacker appeared to be Shiro, who was ecstatic that her Naruto was home at last. She knew that he wouldn't even get hurt on his mission, but that didn't stop her from missing him, especially in bed. Why did you take so long? You could have been done with that dumb mission way earlier, she pouted, slightly grinding her crotch against Naruto's desire. Smokin', Naruto kissed the beauty passionately before setting her feet back on the floor to take in her beauty. Shiro wore a skin-tight white suit with red swirls covering parts of it, with the most noticeable one encircling her right breast. She had long snow-white hair that cascaded down her back and reached just above her knees. She also had dark blood-red eyes that frightened anyone who was on the receiving end of one of her punches. Speaking of her punches, they hurt like hell. She had to wear boxing gloves with seals on them to protect her hand from breaking if she were to put all of her strength into one punch. She was also the wielder of the original branch of Sin, Roots, which allowed her to create a wire of hexagons made from her blood. The fun part was that they could slice through anything, given she put enough effort into her swing, which wasn't difficult given her strength. I'm sorry I made you wait on me, but you know how I feel about the atmosphere when I stop time, and I also made some new allies that will act as spies for me and me alone, he replied with a smile. Cool, does anything else exciting happen? Shiro asked, immediately switching personalities to her usual ditzy self. You see, Shiro was experimented on as a child by her adoptive father, and from those experiments gained the very first branch of Sin, Roots. The downside to this, besides the blatant act of betrayal and experimentation, was that her mind created a new personality to help her cope with the distress she was going through. This other personality was dubbed Retrodag and used to be the one to go on rampages and killing sprees, essentially embodying all of Shiro's bad qualities, such as bloodthirst, insanity, and one hell of a temper, while the actual Shiro was left with only her good qualities, loyalty, innocence, playfulness, etc. Once Naruto brought her to this world, however, the two personalities sort of fuse, with Shiro staying her usual ditzy self while in a relaxed place with family and friends, but also analytical and battle-hardened when she needs to be. Laughing at her curiosity, Naruto replied with a thoughtful look, "Well, Sasuke unlock his Sharingan, which is so weak it's actually pathetic. I suppose Kakashi's gonna train him in secret from now on to make sure his Sharingan levels up as fast as possible. I wonder if Sasuke has told anyone that I have Sharingan too." Naruto explained before wondering the last part to himself quietly, though everyone heard that part too. Anyway, yeah, that happened. Also, the allies I told you about were Zabuza Momochi of the 7 Ninja Swordsmen, and his surrogate daughter, Hakuyuki. Hakuyu even has the ice release Kekii Genkai, which proves she is of the Yuki clan. Also, I have something to show each of you. Naruto explained before unsealing the Tenko Fox mask from the seal on his wrist. This is the Tenko Fox mask of the Uzumaki clan taken from a vault under the Cage Tower. This allows the wearer to see into another life through their counterparts' eyes and gain all knowledge and power that they wield, including bloodlines and even personality traits. It can only be used once per person, and I have already used it. I am not sure it will work for you, Taka and Shiro, due to them not having chakra, but we can try. As for everyone else, you can do it if you want, but you don't have to, cause there's no telling what you from the other time is going to be like," Naruto said as he set the mask on the table while everyone stared at it. There was silence until Madara started laughing hysterically. It took a couple of minutes before he calmed down, but when he did, he turned to Naruto and said, "I don't know which goddess you fucked, but you must have done a pretty goddamned good job if you've got look like this." And with his bit said, he went back to laughing his head off, this time everyone else joining in with him. Naruto looked down and saw all of his family and friends laughing together, and couldn't help but smile, a small but heartfelt smile. This was what he had wanted in his youth. This is exactly what he always envisioned a family to look like. Just seeing everyone happy and together made him happier than mere words could ever explain. He was about to join back into the joking and laughing when he sensed someone approaching the compound, and from the feeling of their chakra, he could already tell it was a squad of Umbu. Sighing, he went out the front door and to the main gate to see what his senses had already told him. "Naruto Uzumaki, you are here, but I ordered to come with us. The Hokage and council demand your presence." But let Umbu said as he went to grab the bars of the gate. Not saying anything, Naruto just watched as the Umbu was engulfed in a sea of intense azure flames, flowing up his hand like it had a mind of its own. The man had no chance to scream before he was turned into a smoldering pile of ash. "I would recommend not laying any part yourself onto my property, as any who are not coded into the blood seals around this compound will be killed in a many number of ways. If you do not believe me, then by all means, go right ahead. There are over 500 different ways these seals can kill you, and those are just the ones that are fast and relatively painless. There's this one where the seals release just a bit of Nine Tails chakra into the person's body, effectively corroding the body from the inside out over the span of years. They're also randomly generated, so I have no idea what order they will come in," Naruto explained with a wide smile on his face. "Okay, Uzumaki-san, we will not touch the gate again. Will you come to the council's chambers?" One of the smarter Umbu, a woman this time, asked after an apologetic bow, though it looked restrained. "I guess, hold on," he said as he went back inside, effectively angering the Umbu for turning his back to them and making them wait. When he got back inside, he noticed that they were all scrambling away from the windows, assumedly trying to snoop on his conversation. Laughing, Naruto spoke to the group. "I have been called before the council. Don't wait for me for dinner, though I will make sure not to let it drag on too late." Seeing them roll their eyes at the mention of the council, Naruto smiled before leaving again to rendezvous with the Umbu at his gate again. "Okay, I'm ready now. Let's go." And with that, Naruto disappeared in a flash of silver, causing the Umbu to growl at having to wait all this time before being left behind. Council chambers. Naruto entered the council chambers to see all of the shinobi clan heads and civilian council members all sitting in their seats on the sides of the table. At the head of the table sat the Hokage with his advisors to his immediate left and right and Danzo at the foot of the table. He also noticed that Kakashi, Sasuke, and Yuki were also here, so he guessed it was about the Wave mission. Thank you for joining us, Naruto. We brought you here to discuss your mission to Wave Country, the Hokage said, dropping the kun suffix from his name as he had already lost on that front. I figured as much. Okay, so what do you all want to know? He asked, already bored with this entire meeting. Reining in his anger at the boy's lack of respect, the Hokage started his interrogation. We have already asked our questions to your teammates here and got pretty much the same story, excluding Yuki here as she was unavailable for the final fight as she was guarding Tazuna and couldn't see through the fog. Do you swear that everything you say here is of the truth and that if you do tell a lie that you will face the consequences? Sure, or you could just have Yamanaka-san here look at my memories, then there'd be no way for me to lie, but whatever you do. He agreed, choosing now to put his hands in his pockets and stare at the Hokage, ready to answer whatever questions they had. Hiruzen, after seeing the clan heads thinking about his suggestion, quickly silenced everyone with a cough before getting back to the interrogation. That won't be necessary. Now explain, in great detail, the start of the mission to the point when you got inside the village. With that, Naruto told the true story of his recollection of the mission, not leaving anything out, especially when Kakashi and Sasuke would screw up like in the very start of their mission. So you're telling me that you deliberately left the mission to go on your own self-appointed mission. You realize that this is grounds for expulsion from the shinobi forces and even execution for desertion? Hiruzen asked, smirking evilly behind his folded hands. Oh, well then I guess Kakashi and Sasuke can be executed right beside me for deserting the client as soon as the mission started. And going to Uzugakure was a clan mission, and as of rule number 97 of the Konoha clan laws, if a clan mission is given by the clan head, that will directly benefit the clan and will not be a detriment to the village, they're allowed to proceed with that mission to the best of his or her abilities. That law was created at the founding of the village as one of the 100 laws needed to create a stable village. Naruto explained. And who was it who gave you this mission? Kushina. I'll have you know that because she was pronounced dead, she could no longer act as clan head of the Uzumaki clan. Hiruzen asked, thinking he had the demon right where he wanted him and didn't even try and hide the smirk this time. Actually, I took the liberty of giving myself that mission as I am the current clan head, Naruto said, shocking everyone in the room, none more so than Hiruzen, Kakashi, and Sasuke. If that's true, then why can't I take clan leadership, damn it? The breeding wonder thought angrily. I'm sorry, Naruto, but that's impossible. You have to be at least Chunin, or the age of 18 to be able to take clan leadership, and you are neither, Hiruzen stated, narrowing his eyes at the boy in front of him. What are you getting at, demons? The old monkey wondered to himself. Actually, a law stated in the contract you made with Uzugakure when discussing an alliance states that all Uzumaki laws would be valid in Konoha politics, and as stated in Uzumaki clan law number 3, if in the case of clan annihilation, if there is a suitable heir, ergo someone that is of maturity or is a shinobi, that person shall be named clan head. If you require proof, I have the entire Uzumaki law book at the compound, and I'm sure you already know of your own laws and contracts. Naruto explained monotonously as he cleaned out his ear with his pinky and yawned afterwards. Yes, why did you attack Sasuke-sama and Kakashi-san? A no-name civilian council member demanded. I attacked them because they dared attack the people under my clan's protection. I had already subdued them and made a contract with them in front of the entire team in Tazuna, I might add, and those two decided that my protection wasn't good enough and disregarded my wishes. I was just protecting the people in my employment, he explained calmly. That will be enough. Thank you for your side of the story. Please wait outside as the council comes to a decision, he said, and everyone could hear the reluctance in the Hokage's thanks. As they waited outside, Sasuke approached Naruto with a scowl on his face. Dobe, I demand that you give me anything useful you found on that island. If anyone can put something to use effectively, it would be me, he demanded with a smirk. Well, I demand you give me everything in your clan compound, Naruto countered. Hell no. Everything in that compound is mine and mine alone. Are you crazy? Sasuke yelled angrily. See, it doesn't feel good to have things demanded of you, especially clan objects, and even if I did give you even one thing I got from my homeland, you wouldn't know how to use it properly. Though I did see a big stick there that would look great up your ass, you would just have to remove the one already occupying that space, Naruto said while digging in his fingernails for dirt. How dare you, you loser! I am an elite from an elite clan and one of the founders of Konoha, the strongest hidden village in all of the elemental nations. He argued smugly. You're not an elite. It's the exact opposite, actually. Because you have been so pampered and have had everything given to you, you haven't had to work nearly as hard as you should have been. The only reason you were the best in the academy is because you were treated with favoritism and the standards were oh so low. 2. If your clan was so elite, why did they get taken out by one man? Granted, that man was a prodigy of his clan and mastered anything that was given to him, but that shouldn't have mattered to a clan of elites. At least when my clan was destroyed, it took 2 of the 5 great hidden villages and a number of smaller villages. Even then, my clan was able to decimate over 3/4 of their armies before going down. And last but certainly not least, the founding of this village was the only good thing your clan did, and that was only when the first 2 Hokage were in office. After that, everything just went downhill until my father came into the picture, and even then that picture didn't last long. He explained, finally looking Sasuke in the eyes only to see that Sasuke had enabled his Sharingan, making them blood red with 2 black tomo in one eye and one in the other. Now that you have looked into the eyes blessed by Kami, you will bow to me. You don't even have your inferior knockoff activated, so you have no way of blocking what terrors I'm about to unleash upon you. The Breeding King exclaimed. Wow, those really are pathetic. I don't have the time nor the patience to deal with you and your wimpy goals. Once they come to a completely useless decision, I'm out of here, he said, further angering Bichiha. Now you two stop fighting, Kakashi said, not really paying attention as he read his porn. Well, maybe you should stop reading smut. I mean, you are a jonin, you should start acting like one, Naruto countered, making Yuki silently agree. Well, when you are one, I'm stronger than you, or do you want a replay of our first fight? He asked, breaking that smug look from Kakashi's face. And 2, you really think this village respects you? Half of this village are women, so that's an immediate no. Then there are those who actually respect women. So, you are probably respected by a very small percentage, and that's only because of your so-called prowess, which you gained from a foreign eye, and that was given to you in order to protect one person. What happened to that person again, a Kakashi? That one hit its mark. Kakashi lunged forward and grabbed Naruto's collar before lifting him up a bit. You shouldn't talk about things that don't concern you. Now I have to kill you, he threatened, causing Sasuke to smirk at Yuki to look in fear. You really should let go of me, as I will not be held responsible for what happens to you if you do not, Naruto replied, seemingly bored with the situation. What are you gonna do, Brett? Use Kyuubi's chakra right in the center of the strongest village in all of the elemental nations. You wouldn't make it out of the building before being cut down, the most idiotic person in the world asked, still not understanding that all of Naruto's power was his own, though he does thank Kurama every day for them. I warned you, the blonde replied before the doors opened again to show what was happening to all of the council. The civilian side was ecstatic at the scene and immediately started cheering on the elder Sharingan user. The shinobi side, however, were outraged. Kakashi was holding up a genin and threatening to kill said genin. No matter what he held, this was still grounds for treason and the murder of a fellow ninja. Garrison was angry. On the outside it looked like mild irritation, but on the inside, he was fuming. That idiot. What the hell is he thinking? Now I'm going to have to punish him instead of the demon. Why does he let himself be antagonized by the demon? I'm about to just say fuck it, and let Danzo have this brat just to get him under control. The Hokage thought in anger. Takashi Hatake? What the hell is going on here? Shimonosuke asked. Oh well, we were just talking, he said, though it sounded more like a question. Then why are you looking like you are about to attack him? Shikaka Nara asked with a raised eyebrow, wishing he was at home right now. I apologize, I let my anger get the better of me. He mentioned Rin and Obito, and I just lost myself for a second," he said with a bow, all the while thinking, "Damn you, demon, I'll get you back for this if it's the last thing I do. Be that as it may, I will still have to punish you for your actions. Meet me in my office after this meeting is adjourned. You will be punished for both attacking Naruto here and his employees in wait." Not a second after he finished with his explanation did Naruto disappear in a flash of silver. After everyone left, Hiruzen and Kakashi adjourned to his office, to which as soon as the door closed and a privacy seal was in place, said Hokage punched the silver-haired Jonin hard enough to embed him 3 inches in the wall. "You fucking imbecile. What the hell were you thinking?" Seeing as Kakashi was about to speak, Hiruzen launched another punch, this time at his stomach. "Don't speak. You need to control the demon, not drive him farther away. Now, thanks to your little antics, I will probably have to hand the demon over to Danzo just to get him back under control. You force my hand in this situation, Kakashi," Garrison said, getting his anger under control. After loads of coughing with blood staining the office floor and Kakashi getting out of the wall, the silver-haired Sharingan user was able to speak again. "Just give me one more chance. I will train Sasuke extensively in secret. I'll power up his Sharingan as much as possible and even teach him my Chidori. When the Chunin exams come around, he will be ready to use his Sharingan to control the demon. I'll make sure to be there on time and be sure to stay on task the entire time. He will be more powerful than me by the time the final task comes along," Kakashi pleaded. "I guess you can have one last chance. But know this, if you fail this time, I'll have you demoted to genin, and you will not be allowed access to any adult material, including Ika," he stated ominously, causing Kakashi to stare with wide eyes at the thought of no porn. "Yes, sir," he said, grasping the seriousness of the situation. "Now, let's talk about your punishment for failing so far," he said with an evil smile. 1 month later, Kakashi's punishment was mild at best. He was ordered to only do D-rank missions by himself with no access to his chakra to help him for about a month and a half. Afterwards he got back to his team and started their training. Training meaning Kakashi would give Naruto and Yuki some more chakra control while he took Sasuke to some other private field and actually trained him. What he didn't know was that every time he left, Naruto would throw away whatever he gave them and train Yuki himself. He taught her any chakra control exercises that she needed, except the ones that required too much chakra, some for her affinities, though he couldn't teach her any of his plasma release, as they were way too powerful and took too much chakra to perform. But he would ask Madara Ashizui to go to IWA and grab some of there for her. In the meantime, however, he taught her some minor plasma control techniques that would help her immensely when she did get some. He also taught her a good fighting style that complemented her abilities and physique. One day, when Kakashi was gathering them all up, he told everyone to stay instead of taking Sasuke to their secret training session. "Okay, you all, I have requested the Hokage to allow Team 7 to participate in the upcoming Chunin exams that are being taken in Konoha this year. If you want to take it, take this slip of paper to the academy and go to the 3rd floor, the exact room number is on the slip, and give it to the person at the door. Team training is cancelled for today, so you can think about your choices. See you?" he said, sending a discreet nod to Sasuke, which only Naruto caught. "Well, Yuki, do you want to train?" "No thank you, I will take this time to think over my abilities and create a strategy for the exams." "Thank you though," she said as she left the field, leaving Naruto and Sasuke alone. "So, are you going to enter?" Sasuke asked with a smirk. "Obviously, why would I miss the opportunity to kick your ass for all of the world to see?" he asked rhetorically. "Though, I do want to see all of the other people who think they're strong enough for these exams. That's one thing we can agree upon. You better make it to the finals because I want to be the one that destroys that arrogant attitude of yours." Sasuke smirks as he walks away. Yeah, what is it with people always confusing confidence with arrogance?" he asked himself as he started to head back to his house to ask Shirosue or Madara for a favor. Annoyed. That was the best word to describe the young Uzumaki male at the moment. As they entered the academy building to take the first test of the Chunin exams, they had only made it to the 2nd floor when Sasuke decided to open his big mouth when they approached a door that was guarded by 2 Chunin disguised as genin. Flashback. You should just drop the genjutsu now. No one can deceive the eyes of an Uchiha, he said smugly, only to be whacked upside the head by an incredulous Yuki. You really are a moron. That was the first test for all genin. If they couldn't even tell that that was a genjutsu and that they were only on the second floor, then they weren't good enough to beat Chunin. Now, AI-chan, it's just like a woman to fear a little extra competition. I, on the other hand, welcome a challenge, he replied arrogantly, saying the last part more towards the genin who had been fooled by the trick. Well, all then a challenge you will get. Turning, Team 7 found the owner of the voice to be none other than Guy's mini-me and taijutsu expert Rock Lee. Though, only Naruto knew his name. I, Rock Lee, wish to challenge Sasuke Uchiha to a battle. It will be a fight to see what will win, natural-born talent or hard work and determination. The taijutsu expert shouted with ferocity, causing Naruto to smirk, knowing just who would win in this fight. Lee, we can't waste time with these rookies. It was you who said that we should keep a low profile in the first place. Another boy, one Niji Hyuga, came up accompanied by a girl with 2 buns in her brown hair. Her name was Tenten. Altogether, they made up Team 9, or commonly referred to as Team Guy. True, but I feel that this will be an excellent warm-up to a truly youthful exam, he replied with a fist pump. If you know my name, then you know that what you're proposing is ridiculous. Though I will humor you if only to show my teammate what kind of beating he is in for when we fight, Sasuke said with a smirk as he glared at Naruto, who wasn't paying attention to him, choosing to contemplate if he really wanted to torture himself with each he has presents just to beat him in front of everyone. Then follow me and we can show our flames of youth before the first task, Lee shouted again before taking off down the hall towards an open arena. Flashback end. That brings you up to speed. They were just getting ready to start the fight when Sasuke opened his eyes to show his Sharingan, both eyes having 2 tomo. With these eyes, you will be little more than a bug under my foot, said Uchiha smirked arrogantly. Ah, I see you have forgotten any strategy in this fight, instead choosing to just show your best hand in the beginning. No matter, it will only make my victory all the sweeter. Lee yelled in glee and anticipation. Scowling, Sasuke started the fight by charging straight at the taijutsu expert, wanting to end this fight early in order to go check out the other competition. You will not win if you underestimate me, Lee yelled as he appeared next to the Uchiha with such speed worthy of the protege of the legendary green beast of Konoha. Lee took advantage of Sasuke's surprise, and roundhouse kicked him in the face, sending the Sharingan user flying while yelling, "Leaf Whirlwind." Twisting himself, Sasuke was able to land on his feet again, but not without sliding and stumbling back a few steps. There was also a noticeable mark where a bruise would form on his cheek. Growling in anger, Sasuke charged the genin again, though he was a bit more cautious this time around. The 2 opponents met in the middle of the arena where they proceeded to exchange taijutsu, though everyone could tell that Sasuke was outmatched. Even with his shuriken activated, Sasuke could do little more than block some of the taijutsu expert's attacks, which were strong enough to hurt him even when blocked. It wasn't until Sasuke got sent away from the fight by a chin kick from Lee that he understood that he was outmatched in taijutsu. After getting up from the dirt, Sasuke started to perform hand seals, ready to fire at the bolt cuts scene. When Lee was close enough, Sasuke brought his right hand up to his mouth before breathing out a large fireball. Fire style, grand fireball. Seeing the technique, Lee dodged to the right, easily avoiding the ball of flame, only to have to cross his arms to block a kick from Sasuke. As soon as he felt the force behind the kick lessen, Lee took hold of the offending limb and spun the Uchiha before throwing him directly into the path of the Uchiha's own dot. While Sasuke was able to dodge the fireball before it did any significant damage, he was not able to avoid getting his left arm and leg burned in the process. Good plan, poor execution, Naruto said with a chuckle from his position on the sidelines. Shut up, done. I don't need your fucking attic, Sasuke yelled before being cut off by a leg in his stomach. Never take your eyes off of your opponent. That is the first lesson the shinobi learns, Lee yelled, a bit angry at Uchiha's blatant show of disrespect. Again, Lee kicked Uchiha away before stepping back a bit and loosening his bandages around his arms, causing his teammates to look shocked while Naruto just smirked. My Guy-sensei, you really are an effective teacher. Maybe this will bring that fucker back down to earth. Naruto thought before chuckling a bit at his unintentional joke. I will now show you my flames of youth. Lee yelled before charging his foe, who was taking a bit longer to get up from his last taijutsu engagement. As Lee got within 10 feet of Uchiha, a large tortoise poofed into existence in the way of his charge. Seeing the summon in time, Lee skied across the dirt until he stopped just in front of the tortoise before bowing. What in the hell do you think you were about to do to that young man? You know what your sensei said about that technique. I'm glad I got here in time before you actually went through with it. The tortoise spoke in a slightly raspy tone. I'm sorry, I got carried away with the fight and I am prepared for the punishment. Lee spoke before a puff of smoke appeared on the tortoise's back, revealing my guy. Lee, you idiot, he said as he punched his student across the face, sending him back about 7 feet. You know that technique is forbidden. As punishment, you will have extra sparring sessions with me with your hands tied behind your back. The teacher yelled before noticing Team 7 standing to the side. So those are Kakashi's students. Sasuke barely gave Lee any challenge, but that blonde one, Naruto Uzumaki, he's hiding something, though he seems strong. Guy thought, showing how a real Jonin acts before letting a large grin stretch across his face. Yash. That's it. Lee, you have found your new rival. But Guy-sensei, Daitsuchi did not give me a challenge, even with his shuriken activated. Lee replied with confusion, causing Sasuke to scowl. I'm not talking about him, my young protege. That one, Uzumaki-kun, will prove to be an amazing rival, causing you to grow exponentially in fun competition. Jonin yelled boisterously as he pointed out the blonde genin. I see, Guy-sensei. Yash, I will fight you, Naruto Uzumaki, in these exams, and then we will see if you are truly a worthy rival. With that said, Team 9 left the arena, leaving the room empty besides Team 7. So, did you have fun getting your ass handed to you? Naruto asked with a smirk, barely being able to contain his mirth at seeing the Uchiha get beaten so badly by someone who can't even use nin or genjutsu. Not that he was bad-mouthing Lee's strength, or even mocking him. It was just a fact that shinobi mainly used nowadays to show strength. Sasuke merely scowled as he walked out of the arena heading towards where they were to take their first test, followed shortly after by the rest of Team 7. Smart move, making it so that the time in the arena would move faster than the time outside. Kurama commented when he saw that they still had plenty of time to get to the room. Yeah, and Guy didn't even seem to notice the time difference, Dansley said enthusiastically. Why, thank you both, I have my moment. After finally making it to their room, they all noticed Kakashi standing at the door waiting for them to get there. I see you all have arrived. Good, because if even one of you decided not to take the exams, none of you would have been able to compete as this is a team competition, he said as his gaze lingered on the blonde, trying to say that if you were to back out and cost each he had this chance, then he would kill the boy. Anyway, as you are all here, why don't you get on inside? He said with a nice smile to Sasuke and a hand on his shoulder as he passed, doing the same when Yuki passed. Though when Naruto went to enter, Kakashi blocked his path with his arm. Not really wanting to deal with the man right now, Naruto merely gazed up at the Jonin with boredom. What do you want, Haddock? If I don't get in there, then they might hold back Team 7 from competing. Scowling, Kakashi replied, Watch it, demon. Just because you're my sensei's son doesn't mean I will treat you any differently. I don't know how you were able to control Kushina-senpai into caring for you, but I will stop you, and when I do, I will make you beg for mercy. With that, the Jonin started to walk away, only to stop when he heard the genin call for him to wait. Turning back around, Kakashi noticed that the blonde was holding out a box in the letter. My father wanted me to give this to you. I just kept forgetting about it until now. Here. Once Jonin took it, Naruto walked into the classroom. Kakashi, being slightly suspicious of the package, decided to open the box first, and then read the letter afterwards. A poor choice really, seeing as how when he opened the box a large boxing glove shot out and decked him straight in the jaw, almost knocking him completely unconscious. Making sure no one saw that little scene, Kakashi hurriedly opened the letter, hoping that his late sensei had left him a mission to kill his demon-possessed son. What he got instead was a long, very descriptive letter of what privileges Naruto had, since he was the son of a Hokage and basically royalty. One that was bolded, made specifically that way to draw one's attention. Being of the Hokage's blood, any person, shinobi or otherwise, of the Leaf Village that attacks this child can be stripped of only the bare minimum of their chakra and locked into the personal prison of whichever Hokage that child is related to. Each prison is different from the other Hokage's prison, as each prison is only to hold those that have wronged that Hokage and his or her bloodline, specifically. Takashi could now say that he was scared. Not only would he lose his chakra on Sharingan, he would also be put into a prison that is said to be the worst there ever was, with whoever got put in there never to be seen from again. There were also rumors that even the people with the strongest of wills have gone mad within a few months of being in one of those cells. Though he calmed himself down when he told himself that their current Hokage would never allow that. So, after thoroughly calming himself, he dismissed the letter in the closest trash bin and went on his merry way. Chuckling at hearing the jonin hit the floor, Naruto entered the classroom to see that most of the teams were already seated and ready for the first task, though his formal attire seemed to put off a few people. Said contestants started to exude killing intent when they saw his team enter. While it was almost laughable for Naruto, he saw Yuki clench her teeth a bit, making Naruto to narrow his eyes before rounding his gaze onto the fellow genin. Seeing his expression, some of the genin stopped in their intimidation attempts. The rest of them, however, were subject to Naruto's killing intent, though not even close to half of it, causing a good bit of them to faint. I see you all are taking these exams as well, troublesome. Turning, Naruto caught the eyes of teams 8 and 10, with Shikamaru being the one who spoke. Sasuke? Oh, how I miss you, my love. Ino yelled as she latched onto the itch she has back, though she shied away from the blonde when she remembered what he did to her back in the academy. What she saw when she tried to take over his body was something that still haunted her nightmares. Alright, glad to see everyone made it. It'll just take a bit longer before I win, right, Akamaru? The ever-eccentric Inuzuka heir yelled in anticipation, though he faltered when he didn't receive a reply from his partner. Looking at the dog, he noticed that his partner was staring at Naruto with an almost frightful look in his eyes. Akamaru, Kiba asked curiously, effectively getting the dog out of whatever trance it was in. You know, you should really keep it down over here, lest you attract unwanted attention. A voice spoke from behind them. The voice belonged to a man who had silver-white hair, a purple jumpsuit covering a white shirt with white bandages over his waist. He also had round glasses and a Konoha headband to finish his outfit off. My name is Kabuto Yakushi, I'm a Konoha genin as well, he said with a clear, to Naruto at least, fake smile. Oh, hello Kabuto-san. Is this your first time taking these exams as well? Ino asked curiously. Oh, not at all. Actually, this'll be my 7th attempt at becoming Chunin. So, with my experience, I know about pretty much everyone taking these exams. Kabuto explained before pulling out a deck of blank cards. All of my information is stored on these cards. As he went on to explain some basic information about the different villages participating in these exams, Naruto zoned him out in favor of secretly activating his Sharingan to check out his cards under a genjutsu, of course, so Kabuto, or anyone else for that matter, wouldn't get suspicious. It seems as though we have a spy in our midst. He absolutely reeks of snakes as well, which means he's working for Orochimaru. Maybe things will get interesting, ate Kurama. Naruto thought after seeing the kind of information he had on those cards, most of it being what no genin of any village would have. I told you it wouldn't be too boring. Do you think the snake will make a move during the exams? The fox asked with a chuckle. I sure hope so, otherwise this guy is probably just here to see if he wants to recruit anyone. With that, Naruto came back to the conversation at hand just in time to hear Sasuke speak to the spy. Rock Lee, Gaara of the Sand, and Naruto Uzumaki, he said, sparing a glance to the red-haired boy sitting in the middle row next to the window. Ah yes, Gaara. The genin from Sunagakure with the ability to control sand. He didn't need Kurama to figure out that the boy held the one-tailed tanuki, Shikaku. Sending the boy a glance, he could tell that he had something seriously off the rocker about him. Whatever it was making him fidget every few minutes and even send glares to anyone unlucky enough to annoy him. Though, right now he seemed to be put off and angry by the appearance of Naruto. Sabaku no Gaara, teammates are his siblings, Sabaku no Temari, and Sabaka no Kenkuro. He mainly uses sand manipulation in sand. Missions completed. 30C rank, 15B rank, and 7A rank. Said to have come back from each mission without a scratch, though no one knows why. Kabuto explained before putting the card back and grabbing another one. Oakley of Konoha, teammates are Niji Hyuga and Tenten, no surname. Their sensei is Mike Guy, legendary green beast of Konoha. Lee has a disability which proves Ningen and Genjutsu out of his reach, but has more than made up for it with his extraordinary taijutsu abilities, with his strength and speed being way above average for his age. Missions completed. 57D rank, 23C rank, 12B rank, and 2A rank. This caused said taijutsu user to puff out his chest slightly in pride, while Niji narrowed his eyes in slight suspicion at the silver-haired genin. And finally, Naruto Uzumaki, teammates are Sasuke Chihai and Yukatora Heiko. Has been shown to excel in all forms of combat, and seemed to just jump in power in his second year in the academy. Seemed to have been able to defeat his sensei, Kakashi of the Sharingan, B rank missing Nins. Meizu and Gozu, a rank missing Nin, Zabuza Momochi, as well as kill about 100 thugs with only one dot. He also seems to possess a few Kekii Genkai that have never been recorded before, making him a mystery when it comes to danger level. Missions completed. 134D rank and 1A rank. Hearing his completed missions, every genin looked at him in astonishment. 2 words, shadow clones. Naruto said as he dismissed their looks. As soon as he became a genin, he had created 5 shadow clones a day to do D ranks. Also, seeing as how the others got quite antsy when cooped up in the house every day, they secretly escaped the village whenever they wanted to do a job as a mercenary or just hunt missing Nin, quickly building up their reputations as some of the strongest mercenaries out there, utilizing strange bloodlines that have never been seen before, or so says the bingo book, though they made sure to wear disguises so that no one could identify them by appearance alone farther down the line. One time, IWA had tried to set a bounty on Tuka, who's going by Rabbit when in mercenary mode, for Shiro, going by Wretched Egg, to complete. This was to try and set the two people with strange bloodlines against each other, and hopefully weaken each other enough so that they could kidnap them and breed them in Iowa. The result, which surprised the Tsuchikage immensely, was that Shiro only laughed when she was told who to go after, replying with, "Nah, I don't hunt friends." This enraged I was caged, and basically told everyone that the new mercenaries on the scene were all working together, which wasn't too far off. Anyway, since then, every village has tried to get them to join, or even sign an alliance, but all were unsuccessful. Shut it, Magus. Get seated before I kick your asses and ban you from these exams. Ibiki Murino, the director of the T&I department, yelled as he entered the room, effectively knocking Naruto from his thoughts. That got the reaction he wanted, as every genin quickly ran to their seats as assigned by the Chunin assistants. You will all have 30 minutes to answer these 9 questions. At the end of that time, the last question will be administered by me. Everyone will start with 10 points. Cheating will result in a deduction of 2 points for each offense. Getting caught cheating 5 times will cause you and your team to be disqualified. You may begin. Ibiki explained. And that's when it got really boring. Instead of the hardcore blood-pumping exams that he was expecting, he had to take a damn test. It was so boring that even the answer was painfully obvious to those who put a little thought into it. What surprised him, though, was just how many genin were dismissed due to cheating. I mean, seriously, there were very few rookie genin, meaning that most of the people in the room had experienced missions like these, and yet they were cut down by at least 1/3 by the end of the time limit. Okay, pencil down. I will now give you all the last question verbally. Though, before I do that, I will present you all with a choice. You can choose to not take this question, and you and your team will be disqualified to try again next time. Oribiki explained before exclaiming the last word when he saw people about to voice their opinions. You can choose to take this question with the risk of being banned from any and all exams in the future, should you get it wrong. Of course, a lot of genin immediately voiced their opinions against such a consequence. What? But there are genin here who have taken the exams before and obviously failed. Kankuro exclaimed, gaining tick marks from quite a few genin in the room. True, though you were just unlucky to get me as your instructor this year. Ibiki responded with apathy. Now, if you all are done bitching, if you are unwilling to take this question, please raise your hand. Now, if the first test didn't get rid of people enough, this decision sure did. Their numbers dropped by another half, bringing the number of people still gunning for the title of Chunin down to about 36 genin, or 13 teams. Guess as the last team left the room and no one else raised their hands, Ibiki gained a smirk. Good, everyone that's left has passed the first exam. You will all move on to the second exam, the scarred man said, gaining confused expressions from nearly everyone in the room. Wait, what about the last question? Temari asked curiously. There was no 10th question. It was all just a scare tactic in order to see who was too cowardly to answer a stupid question. If they couldn't even gather up the courage to answer the last question, then they can't be trusted to man up on a mission, maybe even killing their teammates with their inaction. Naruto spoke up from his spot near the front row. Everyone turned to see that Naruto was leaning back in his chair with his fedora over his eyes, apparently relaxing, while everyone else was stressing over the last question. That is correct, Ibiki said as he took off his bandana. Every mission has the danger of escalating into a higher rank at any given moment, or it could even be a trap. Enemy ninja will use every tool in their arsenal to torture and break you if they think you even have the slightest bit of useful information. You must be prepared to take that risk in every mission you accept and prepare yourselves to do the same should the occasion come around. With his speech done, Ibiki wrapped his head again to hide his scars. Naruto only gave a nod of respect, seeing as how the Jonin had learned all of that firsthand. As soon as he was done, a brown blur came crashing through the window before throwing 2 kunai to hang a large poster or sing, the awesome and single Anko Mitarashi. Yo, what's with this, Ibiki? You must be losing your touch if there are still this many people who pass through, Anko said with a smirk as she stood up to her full height, giving everyone a good view of the woman. She was a tall woman with dark purple hair tied up into a short fan ponytail. She wore a fitted mesh bodysuit over her torso with a tan overcoat over it. She also wore a dark orange mini skirt with a dark blue belt holding it up. You're actually on time for once, Anko. And in regard to your comment, maybe there are just some exceptional prospects this year, Ibiki replied with a smirk towards Naruto, causing said genin to match his smirk. Well, no matter, I'll knock out at least half of them with my task, she said evilly, causing most genin to shiver, though Naruto just matched her gaze with a challenging smirk. Meet me at training ground 44 in 10 minutes, or you fail. With that exclamation, Anko dove straight back out of the hole she made in the window, causing many to just stare at the spot where she once stood in bewilderment. Well, let's go, Yuki-chan. And Uchiha, try not to lag behind, Naruto said as he appeared behind Yuki with a hand on her shoulder. HN whatever? Was all the response he got before Team 7 vacated the classroom through the window, much like their second instructor. 10 minutes later, as everyone arrived at the training ground, they noticed that the area for their next task was a giant forest enclosed by an equally impressive metal fence. Alrighty kiddos, here's where you'll really get tested on your skills as a shinobi in the Forest of Death. Each team will receive one of 2 scrolls for you to protect and keep at all times. You will have 5 days and 5 nights to retrieve the other scroll and make it to that center tower by the end of the 5th day with both scrolls intact and unopened. If anyone opens their scroll, then that team will be immediately disqualified. Any questions? Anko explained, relishing in the scared faces of the genin when they heard what this area was called. Joji was the first to raise his hand, though he didn't wait to be called on to go ahead and ask, what will we do for food for all that time? Well, there are plenty of edible plants and animals in the forest, so I'm sure you'll think of something, Anko answered with a smirk, causing the young Akamichi to whiten his eyes in fear. Seeing as no one else had any questions, Anko went ahead and distributed the scrolls to each team, with Team 7 receiving the Earth Scroll. Seeing as the instructor was heading to give the scroll to Naruto, Sasuke rushed forwards and snatched the objective out of her hands, causing the Tokubetsu Jonin to growl slightly. Thank you, this should be held by the leader of this team, and that would be me, Sasuke said with a sneer. Going right ahead doesn't make a difference to me, though you did just snatch something from a powerful John's hand, a Jonin that has been known to destroy anyone who touches her wrong or looked at her with anything resembling lust, Naruto commented with a smirk. Whatever, she can't touch me. I'm an Uchiha late. Well, she's just a dumb whore who couldn't even be a real jonin," Sasuke said arrogantly as he turned and spat at the said jonin's feet, causing Naruto to widen his eyes and back away from Anko, who was radiating a dark aura, though she only showed a happy smile. "Oh shit," Naruto mumbled as he was genuinely curious how the snake summoner would react. "Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this," she said, confusing the Uchiha brat. New rule. The person team who beats the living hell out of this genin for the longest period of time before he passes out gets a free pass into the next trial. That proclamation caused many genin to stare at the duck-haired genin in pure glee, already having enough of his attitude, as well as causing Naruto to roll on the floor in laughter. "You can't do that, you wench. I am an elite of Konoha and I will be treated with respect," Sasuke spat out at that purple-haired jonin as he got right in her face, trying to intimidate her with his Sharingan. "Hey, it's my exam, my rules. I could fail you right now if I wanted to, but I want to see what you look like when you exit this forest, if you exit, that is," Anko continued as she smirked, both at Sasuke's enraged face and Naruto's dying of laughter. As that feud ended, everyone was escorted to their assigned gate before they had to wait to be allowed into the deadly forest. Thanks for listening to my video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment below your favorite part. Sayonara, see you in the next video.